State. Aware of that.
Botrix has successfully joined the channel.
There was the very public adulation on the part of Earth. Happening. Happened. Right? Well, families. Recently, Korea has to be a lord. Listed now. These are willing. No, certainly. Probably. Or what? Oh, repack. Fair. Fair. American. Manson. They're just. I can't. I'll elderly. And you cause massive. What are political coverage of American? Man. I mean, fair chance. That's a great one. That makes communist. Japanese rules are
What's
I'm-
on your mind? Yes.
Rambo first had to actually had to urge great mass conflict. Give you the Grand President Lieutenant Au hours. Rams Monday night. Final function. Train. Trump told Harrington launch fresh strikes again for another attack on person who's just after the fall. Urged him after he and then can't die now. Russia's Iran sorted out. That Donald Trump has Trump's the public. Times a it was fun. Or was
And you are.
it didn't care them. I wait. That's just for Christmas time. Very serious. Not hype. Very close. And on our side, government. Start paying currencies. Normally, happens to every government that act like. That's the question. We report American money forever. IRA, 401. Non-love. Free.
Do not seek
I-
death.
Weird way. There's good news. After years of research into something. That's it. Your average five. Holographic technology once in military and law enforcement. There's like this go for 6. There's you're covering at a special
25, 29 agility.
Technology we're talking about. QR code or go to mct.com/John.
Hello.
.com/.
Goodbye.
Skype. Or if you want a single built now's your chance. Grab yours before they have to shut you
Peace,
for it.
friend.
That's
Farewell.
Ash. Wait, that was a little serious material, and thank you for staying through it. Your family,
What
Have-
brings you here?
I really
Ancestors.
not walk 5 feet up. On to adding eyes. Covenant. Personal policy. I never, ever, ever say as the graph or whatever. I say anyway. So you couple edits that are out there that I had so much fun with. That's to some two. Yeah, two. Chris Riley. First one that I received. I didn't even receive on and there are a lot of crazy very, very flattered, but we're using talent. Have an assistant. See away. I mean, I don't want. Oh, they're between. All these. There's
So what faction should you choose to help? The Eldor or Squires? If you're playing a Draenei, you'll receive additional reputation from this quest if you choose Eldor, where if you choose Squires, you'll not receive as much. As Blood Elf, it's the complete opposite. You need to choose the Squires if you wish to receive additional reputation, else you will just make it to neutral. Your decision will also have an impact on what shoulder enchants you can acquire. The ones at the top is from Eldor and the ones at the bottom from Squire. I'll get back to the best decision for your class later in the video. Because what you choose will also have an impact on the quest you can obtain. This is from Eldor, where there's going to be different unique rewards, or well, rewards you won't be able to obtain if you decide to do the Squire's quest chains. Just remember that these Eldor rewards should not have a huge impact on your decision, because you'll replace those items sooner than later anyway. However, this healer neck is definitely not bad. And it's also the same case for the Squires. They will receive a neck, but this is going to be for tanks. Definitely also a good decision as well. Or a caster ring for those of you playing a spellcaster. Squires also has a quest chain where they can choose between 5 of these rewards. Yeah, once again, it shouldn't have a huge impact on your decision, because the shoulder enchants and other things will matter a lot more. Squires also has some decent rewards. This dagger for rogues playing dagger spec, and of course also the amazing caster ring. Yeah, it requires you to be exalted, so it definitely also takes some time, or well, a lot of gold. This is why many casters usually also go for the Squires, as they can also obtain this insane trinket. So the ring and the trinket is one of the main reasons for many spellcasters choosing this faction, and why it's highly recommended. The other rare rewards, for example the gloves, healer weapon and legs, will be replaced fairly quickly, as there's many other options you can acquire that is going to be easier than reaching revert with the faction. More classes benefit from choosing the Eldor, not because of this awful neck, but as a fairy warrior, rogue, yeah in fact even hunter, you will benefit from this sword. At least hunters will benefit from the ring down here, same with feral druids and rogues and even shamans. The staff is not bad for spellcasters, but the thing is that in Burning Crusade Phase 1 there's many other weapons you can easily acquire. And this is also the same case with the chest right here, no crit or hit, and there's many other alternatives. The plate chest is decent for tanks, and I know many people actually like to choose the Eldor as the tank, not just because of this reward, but because of the shoulder enchants. Your decision will of course also have an impact on the different profession things you can acquire, but then again most of these will be bind on equip and of course sellable on the auction house, so this is yet another thing that shouldn't have a huge impact. When we move to the Sunwall, or well, that phase, there's also going to be new necks you can acquire, and here it also comes down to the faction you have decided to help, as each of these necks has a buff depending on you being Squires or the Eldor. Alright, moving on to the different shoulder enchants and what in my opinion is the best for your class and specialization. It seems like most classes are benefiting from choosing the Eldor. Decide if you're being a spellcaster, but also an arms warrior, as having more crit is going to be pretty important, especially in PvP. As a healer, you're benefiting from having more healing on your shoulders compared to the Squire's one, and this is also the same case as a tank, where you're getting more dodge instead of more defense. At some point you will be defense capped anyway, and this is where it's gonna be important to have more avoidance. As a melee DPS and hunter, it seems like we're benefiting more from having a bit more attack power over crit. But once again, this is of course my preference when I'm raiding. Let me know your opinion by posting this in a comment below the video. The last benefit for those of you choosing the Squires is that if you fail the elevator boss, well, then don't worry, you won't die to fall damage. This is not the same case for those of you playing Eldor, unless you're either playing a paladin or a class with slow fall. Soon I'll release many more useful Burning Crusade videos, so if you would like to see those, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This will also help me a lot as a content creator, so I can spend more time on this passion. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace.
Hey everyone, today I'm going to be trying something a little unconventional. I'm going to try and rank the burst potential of all Wrath of the Lich King specs in PvP. Now this isn't taking into account things that are just purely RNG, like, oh, I got Windfairy procs every single attack and I crit every single ability. I'm going to just try and take the most controlled burst that they can have and go with that. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting off first with the Blood Decay. They have a little more burst than you'd expect. It is a tank spec that has massive healing, but with Dancing Rune Weapon as well as Empower Rune Weapon, which resets the cooldown on all of your runes, so you instantly can get back 6 runes and just go Death Strike, Death Strike, Death Strike. It's not bad burst. It's still a DK, that's blood, and it's tank, so it's not the highest. So I will be putting it in low, however, it is going to be on the higher end. Now we have Frost DKs. Now with their Killing Machine procs, which gives them the guaranteed crit, then they have that 1-2 minute cooldown talent, which gives you a guaranteed crit on your next Frost Strike Obliterate. Very high burst potential. They can just start chopping you down, and then they even have the 1 minute cooldown Hunger and Cold to synergize with it, but we're not including that. Just their burst damage can be extremely high with a little bit of PvE gear. So I'll be putting them on the higher end of great, as it's not as controlled. You're still relying on some procs, but very high burst. Now in Holy DK, they have insane sustain damage. Absolutely insane. They will typically be the top damage in every single arena game. The only one that can even compete with them really is no Affliction Lock. So their burst suffers a little bit for all that sustain, but it's still not bad. They can still do decent damage with Death Coils, Chains. The Gargoyle is out, so it's not bad. I'm going to be putting them on the higher end of okay. I have Boomkins. So with Starfall damage up, they can do a ton, and then Starfire, Wrath can just hit pretty hard. It's not super high like you'll see some of these other casters, but it's still pretty good, and I'll be putting them on the higher end of great. No Feral Druids. They have insane bites. They can ferocious bite someone for about 13,000 who are Resil geared, which is insane. So their burst is very high, but it's not really controlled. They can just, you know, with good RNG, yeah, you can crit, get a big bite, but that's it. And then they have a lot of bleed damage, so they're more on the higher sustain. But the fact is, they can still bite for 13,000, and that's insane. So I'll be putting them on the lower end of great, and then we'll come back to this. We have Resto Druids. How high is their burst? It is not the highest, so we're gonna put it on the lower end. Thinking about it, they can do some Wraths and some Moonfire, but most of the time they're just be cloning anyway. Very low burst. And then we have BM Hunter. Very high burst during those 10 seconds of Bestial Wrath. Extremely high damage with a pet, and they can't be CC'd during it, so I'm gonna be putting that on the lower end of best, as it's still not super high, but if they manage to get to the kill shot range, then that's insane burst. So BM is very high. I have Marksman Hunter. Very high burst, very controlled. You can do it every like 10 seconds basically. Aim shot, Chimera shot, and eventually you can get him to a kill shot. You can prep it. Pretty high burst. You have Armor Pin on a Marksman Hunter. You're attacking a mage. I mean, you can hit them for their entire health if you prep and they're not super geared or don't have shields on. So that's very good. So I'm going to be putting them pretty high. I'll probably be putting them just a little below BM, because BM with Bestial Wrath is still crazy. So Hunter's at the top, very good burst. And now we have Survival Hunter, very low burst. They have Lock and Load, which will proc, giving them another explosive shot off of Black Arrow ticks, but then Black Arrow can be dispelled, and Black Arrow's a dot anyway, so they're much more, their burst just isn't super high. I mean, they're either the low end of okay, or they're just in low. So that's where they're gonna go. Arcane Mages, their burst is very high. If they can just stand there and snipe, their burst is super high. It's still lower though than these Hunter specs, and I'm trying to think if it's higher than a Frost DK. If an Arcane Mage is just turreting, it's quite high, but I still think a Frost Mage is probably still higher though. So I'll probably be putting Arcane a higher end of great. I'm kind of torn on this one, because I'm still trying to take into account, like, how did you just stand there and you can cast everything as an Arcane Mage? It's like never. But a DK, a Boomkin, they have a lot more utility and ways to get those off. So that's why it's kind of hard to do this list, but I'm going to be putting Arcane probably right in between the two. But I'd say all three of these are, even all four of them are really close to each other. Okay, now we have Fire Mage. Their burst is a bit lower. They do not have the burst of Arcane or Frost. So I'll be putting them on the lower end of okay, but they can still, what they do so well in is running around, disarming everybody, disrupting them with Dragon's Breaths, and just doing good AoE damage with Living Bombs. So their burst suffers a lot. Now Holy DK definitely has more burst. And then we have Frost Mage, very high burst in a deep freeze with haste, Icy Veins, maybe Lust. You can chunk somebody. Do a Frostbolt, Ice Lance, Frost Firebolt. I mean, that could be half their HP, maybe more. So pretty high. I'll be putting Frost Mage. I think I'm just gonna put it a little ahead of Arcane, because they can reliably do that in PvP. But if this was a list of everyone could just do as much damage as possible and they're standing there sniping, then Arcane would be higher. But I'm still trying to put this in a realistic situation. Like, what is their real burst in PvP situations? So I'm going to be putting Frost just a little ahead of that, as in 1 5-second deep freeze you can do insane damage. They can't do anything about it. Whereas an Arcane Mage, they have to sit there and cast, and you can do a lot of things to stop that. Then we have Holy Pally. What is their burst like? They can do a little bit of Holy Shock damage, Judgment. It's pretty low overall. They can do a little bit though. I mean, it's like, it's all instant, so that's nice. So the burst is quick. I don't know. It's basically the same as Resto Druid. I don't know which one I'd put higher. The fact that you can guarantee crit your Holy Shock with Divine Favor, I think would make me put it just a little higher, but these two are probably the lowest in the game. We'll see. Prot Paladin. They can actually hit quite hard and consistently with control. So they don't have any moves that hit insanely hard though. Like a Feral can hit for 13,000, but a Prot will just do a lot more DPS overall. Or, well, maybe not a lot more, maybe like the same DPS, but very consistently. So I will be putting them ahead of Unholy DK. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're right below Unholy DK. I guess you can save up Runic Power and have the fast globals to go coil, coil, coil on somebody, and then you have Empower Rune Weapon to do a full rune reset. So I guess I'd put them, they're pretty much either right ahead of Unholy or right behind it, I'd say. But their damage, just like Unholy, is actually very high. I mean, this spec does a surprising amount of damage. You run 2-piece PvE tier set, and it can give you, I believe, 20% more damage on your main ability, and maybe it even gives damage on another. I don't recall. I'll check. Maybe I'll put it in this video. And then we have Ret Paladin. Their burst is extremely high. You pop wings, you bypass 50% of all damage reduction, which includes resilience. This can hit insane hard. You pop wings, you go Crusader Strike, Divine Storm, Judgment, Exorcism, maybe Hammer of Wrath. I mean, you can do absolutely nuts damage. So I'm going to be putting Ret very high, and it's very controlled too. All three of these, Marksman and Ret, have very controlled damage. But Bestial Wrath is pretty insane. That 10 seconds is nuts. I mean, maybe Ret is still higher because their abilities are all just hard hitting and off the globe, or it's just every global you go. Crusader, Divine, Judgment, Exorcism, Hammer of Wrath, that can do huge damage. So I think I will put them just a little ahead of Marksman and just slightly behind BM, but all three of those are very close. I would say Ret's higher than Marksman though. Now we have Disc Priest. They have the most damage out of all the healers. They can go Offensive Penance, Mind Blast, Death, have some dots like Pain on them. So they have higher damage for sure than the other healers. Question is, are they better than any of the DPS? They might be better than Blood. I'm not positive about this. I don't have the best comparison for a Blood DK. I suppose I would put them just right behind the Blood DK, but those are probably pretty close. I have Holy Priest, very low. They don't have a ton of damage. The Offensive Penance and the faster cast that Disc gets is nice. We're gonna put Holy, probably, but they still have Mind Blast and Death, so it still probably is higher than the other two healers. Then we have Shadow Priest. They don't have a ton of bursts, but they still have insane sustained damage and great healing utility, everything else. So I'll probably be putting Shadow definitely in the okay section. They can do Mind Blast, Mind Flay, Death, so that's good. But the amount of damage that DK and Proc can do is pretty nuts. This one's a little hard for me to decide, as I've played, one of my main arena partners has played Shadow throughout the years, so I have a lot of experience playing with them. I think I would... DK definitely does more with the Death Coil spam with Empower. But with Shadow Fiend Mind Blast, it's still a lot of damage. Prots with the PvE set as well as Avenging Wrath is a lot of damage too. I would probably rank it like that. But all three of these, I mean, if this was just a sustained damage tier list, I mean, these three would pretty much be at the top. Now we have Ellie Shaman. Their burst is insane, and it's very controlled. You can go Flame Shock, Lava Burst, Instant Cast, a Chain Lightning, or cast a Chain Lightning, and then the Lava Burst travels and hits them at the same time the Chain Lightning instantly hits them. And then you can Shock, Instant Cast, maybe Rocket Gloves. So, insane burst, I would say is one of the highest in the game. And you can do it basically every like 10 seconds other than the Nature Swiftness. So, very powerful. And then you can run a haste setup so you can even turret more things to do. And then you could proc. You have a 1 in 3 chance to proc a duplicate cast for half damage. So that really adds into it. Now we have Enhancement Shaman. Their burst is very high, but it's not very controlled. It's all auto damage with Wind Fury procs, and then Storm Strike. A lot of enhanced shamans don't run Lava Lash, so it's really Storm Strike, your shock spell, and then autos and Wind Fury. That's the bulk of your damage, and then your weapon enchant with like Frostbrand. So enhance is definitely a bit lower, but still high. I'm going to be putting it probably in the great. Yeah, it's certainly higher than Unholy Decay, I'd say, because you're still proccing Wind Fury. You know, I believe it's a 1 in 5 proc chance if you have nothing improving it. So you're still going to be getting that every couple seconds with melees, and that is good burst. So I'll put it. It's below Feral. It's definitely below Feral. It's below Boomkin. It's below all these for sure. It's close to Unholy, but I think I'll put it a little higher. And it has pretty decent damage too. Okay, we have Resto Shaman. They can go cast a Lava Burst and then instant Nature Swiftness, a Chain Lightning, but it's still pretty low. It's probably still lower than Priest, but it's higher than Druid and Paladin. Yeah, the instant cast adds a little bit of burst, the instant shock as well as the instant Nature Swiftness spell. And Lava Burst can hit, you know, as the rest is still for like 4,000. That's not bad. Okay, now we have Affliction Lock. Their damage is insane, but their burst isn't amazing. It's not horrible though, and they in a way have a really good burst because once you get things to like 30-ish%, you have that Drain Soul Execute, and that ticks extremely hard, which I would consider burst because it ticks pretty quickly. I'll put that probably put it just right below Fire, I'd say, because you know they don't have anything in particular that just hits really hard. You know, everything's dots. So yeah, Affliction's gonna be lower like that. Yeah, they're definitely gonna be about there. I mean, maybe ahead of Fire, but no, Fire's probably still higher. Then we have Demo Lock. They can do pretty good bursts when they have their Demo form up. They have Immolation Aura. They can coil and just do pretty decent damage. The Felguard hits hard. So I'll put them on the higher end. They're definitely going to be in great. They're ahead of Unholy Decay, definitely. I'd say they're ahead of Enhance. They might even be higher than Boomkin and Feral. Maybe Mage. They're definitely up there. They have high damage though. It's not super bursty. It's not, because of that, I guess I put it on a little lower, I guess, but still pretty high. And now we have the Destro Lock, the partner in crime to the Ellie Shaman. You will see some of the best 3s comps will be running Lock Shaman Healer. Typically a Resto Druid, but it can also do extremely well with the Holy Pally. It can even do really well with the Disc Priest. I believe it can even run with a Resto Shaman. However, I haven't tested it and I haven't really seen too many doing it, but these two combined are extremely powerful, and they can pretty much run the 3s ladder. Even in 5s, they're both very good. They're okay. They're pretty decent in 2s as well. But the burst that Destro does, Curse of Elements, and then you go Shadow Fury, Chaos Bolt, Conflag, Shadow Burn, maybe you get an instant Backlash, Incinerate, and then Death Coil. You're doing absolutely busted damage. I would put them higher than Ellie. Their burst is insane. Whenever I think of Wrath burst, I always think of Destro. And even way back when I played Wrath, I remember dueling people in Durotar, and there was this one lock that he was just so good at doing the burst, but he would kill everybody so quickly in duels. So that's where I put them. These two are certainly the highest, and that's part of the reason they're the best in 3s. And I have Arms where their burst is very high, and it's somewhat controlled with Recklessness, Blade Storm. But a lot of it depends on your crits, and then maybe you're getting some procs, so you're waiting for your Ren. But Arms Warrior hits very hard, and it does have pretty good burst. I think I'd be putting it somewhere in the middle of great, because their damage is insane and the pressure is very high with Unrelenting Assault and MS, but the overall burst is definitely lower than everyone in the best section. It's certainly lower than everything up there, and I would put it lower than Frost Decay. I'd put it lower than Frost Mage. I would put it lower than Arcane, and I'd probably put it lower than Boomkin. So yeah, I'd put them there, but they're close to Feral. Now we have Fury Warrior. This one is similar to Arms Warrior in a way, but it doesn't have the Blade Storm, which is a very powerful on-demand cooldown, and it's got a little less burst, I'd say, because it doesn't have the Rend giving you the guaranteed overpowers. So you're mainly just doing Bloodthirst, and then you'll get a proc Slam and then Whirlwind. It's decent. It's probably gonna go somewhere on the lower end of okay, or it might even be like the lower end of great. I'm not positive on this one. Take this with a grain of salt, but I'll probably be putting on the lower end of okay. I have Prot Warrior. Their burst is actually crazy. If they have full armor pin, their burst is one of the highest in the game. I would be putting theirs certainly at the top tier. One without PvE gear though would be going probably It'd probably be going about here. Maybe, actually no, it'd probably be around here. Yeah, their burst without PvE gear would be about here. But with really good PvE gear, it's gonna be, I mean, it's probably gonna be like near the top. It's so crazy how much damage they can do with a charge, shockwave, concussion blow, heroic throw, devastate, a huge shield slam. Yeah, they can hit very high and it's very controlled. And then they control it with recklessness as well. So yeah, they're definitely in the top 3, I'd say, or top 4. I'd probably put them around here, assuming PvE gear. I'm assuming all of these have PvE gear as well. Assassination Rogue, their burst isn't super high, but they have crazy sustain. They're definitely gonna be going in the OK list. And pretty much everything in the OK is just high DPS that doesn't have the highest burst, as that is the trade-off. So I'll be putting them probably, it's higher than Affliction, it's higher than all these. It can do decent bursts. It's slower though than DK and Shadow Priest, I believe. Probably a little lower than Prot Warrior. So probably about here. I think I'd probably put it a little ahead of Fury Warrior. So right in the middle of OK. I have Sub Rogue, very high burst. You have Armor Pin gear, it's even crazier. I would be putting it probably at the lower end of best. Or maybe just a little ahead of Marksman Hunter. I'm not sure. I would say Rets is higher though. I'd say everything over here is higher. So it's really, I would put it ahead of Frost DK. So then that just means putting it, whether it's ahead of Marksman or not. Marksman has on-demand bursts all the time, but Sub Rogue also has it every minute. Sub Rogue with Dance is pretty crazy damage. Just ambush, 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 ambush. Maybe you're playing Blood Elf and you don't even have to Garrote, so you just silence them. So that's pretty high. Yeah, that would be higher than Marksman, I'd say. So yeah, I'll put them ahead of Marksman in best. And I have Combat Rogue, one of the most gimmicky specs in the game. Ever Killing Spree, which lasts for about 2 to 3 seconds on, I believe, a 3-minute cooldown, hits extremely hard with full PvE gear. Basically the highest burst in the game, I'd say. You can kill people from full. So I think I will be putting them at the very top. But bear in mind, out of all these specs at the top, this is the most gimmicky, and really it's not the best. It is the best burst on paper. You can open it on a mage with full armor pin gear, and let's say they don't have an ice barrier up or anything. You could basically just go silence, pop like a DPS cooldown trinket, and you just hit Killing Spree, and you can kill them from full. No joke. Not exaggerating whatsoever. So I will put them at the very top, as no other spec in the game can actually do that. A lot can hit someone for over half their HP consistently every like 20 seconds, and pretty much so can an Ellie Shaman. Same with Warrior. But they can do that once every like 3 minutes for 3 seconds. That's basically Combat Rogue. And it's, if you know it's coming, you know they're combat, it weakens it significantly. And if you cluster people together, that counters Killing Spree because it hits whoever's right next to you. So it has some counterplay as well. I know I have Guardian Druid, which does not exist. This is actually going to be a Prague Paladin, the 4th Paladin spec. It is similar to Ret in that it has good damage, it has decent burst, it has better healing than Ret, but it does not have the burst that Ret has. It can still hit pretty hard. It gets the Reckoning procs, which gives it double melee procs, but it's doing less damage overall, and it has one less DPS ability because you're trading Crusader Strike and Divine Storm for your Shield of the Righteousness. So you're losing 2 DPS buttons, but you're gaining 1. So I'll be putting them a little lower, and you have the one-hander, so it does hit less burst-wise. I will be putting it a little ahead of Enhance though, because it still can hit super hard. But Enhance is pretty close to it. I mean, they're pretty much partners in crime, so they're gonna go about there. And that is my attempt at ranking all the specs in Wrath for their burst potential. I think this is pretty accurate. The only things I'm a little unsure on would be where exactly Arcane Mage would go, where exactly Boomkin would go. I feel pretty confident though putting them at the top of Great. And everything in this OK list has insane damage, but they do not have the burst ability that anything in the Best or the Great has. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.
Mean?
What's bug?
He would have to say.
I'm in the bug. I'd say C. I've watched I was watching Prefox, who was geared as fuck and knew what he was doing in that fucking raid, and he was doing good. I mean, overall, I mean, if on the trash, he was still, as you can imagine, they're still Cleave City. But I couldn't see him hit 4K, bro.
into the little time capsule.
Hyperbolic time chamber.
And yeah, and they're gonna train.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna send them cookies.
What a good
and
analogy.
keep them alive and ready to go until they bloom into beautiful.
Bug because
stay out of this
they're
one.
in C tier and there's no D tier.
Yeah.
Hey, be nice.
I'm really excited to play my Fury Warrior in Wrath. I'm really excited about it. Hello at me will shine.
Warriors are good, bro. They're gonna be, you know, eventually one day they'll be phenomenal.
The biggest scale, yeah. Actually, from my understanding, which this might be wrong, but from my understanding, the biggest scaler might be Fire Mage. Like, obviously Warrior, but the biggest at scaling from some things I've heard, but I have no idea.
Like
how
late in the game, like ICC.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My recollection of ICC in original Wrath of the Lich King is the top of the meters was like Fire Mage, Fury Warrior, Frost DK were like 3, and then there was Rogue. So those were like the 4 that I remembered. But I remember Fire Mage coming out of nowhere back then. That's what I remember. That's like in my head, the damage meter, just like that's what I remember, just seeing a Fire Mage near the top every time.
I'd be willing to bet Fury Warriors are very competitive in Cold War.
I think so too.
That's
They're
what I
so
said.
good
I
at
mean,
theory
I agree.
crafting.
I agree. I don't think
Because-
they're gonna take too long to get good. I think they're gonna
Remember,
ramp up early.
see, we were like Fury Warriors are dead, and then in SSC, Noda ran 6 Fury Warriors and they blasted, and this is one of those expansions where no one's saying Fury Warriors are dead, they're just not as good right now. So if that data point lines up, it's just gonna be like, okay, they're gonna pump.
They're gonna figure it out.
I actually just went and I found this from like one of the podcasts I did with Snow a year ago. This was the composition that got me Giga Flamed by people
And
back
that's
in
the
the day.
comp they used.
This is
Or is it
4/6/2021. This is over a year ago. I was saying Fury Warriors and TBC were going to be incredibly good for speedrunning, and then I got like absolutely blasted all shit for it. It was so bad.
I like that one
was
affliction
terrible.
lock that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Well,
the
Curse of
only-
Wreck, bro. You need Curse of Wreck.
Yeah, but I mean, you can test
Yeah.
that, right?
You would, the group comp would maybe move stuff.
Yeah, obviously. Like, this was
That's-
before I understood like
Good
group
guess
comps
though.
and
That was
DM
very
and
good.
shit like
He,
that, right?
this is speculation. He did amazing at that.
Yeah. It was just based on like strength of class and not necessarily groups.
Dance
Like, it's
Priest over Holy Priest. You
Prot
mad?
Warriors.
because I value pain stuff. Yeah, the Prot Warrior became a feral, and then like some of the other things changed too. Like you had another resto instead of like another was it another healer?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had Prot Warrior in there because I didn't think they were gonna fall off hard enough in going into TBC because of Fury Prot was just insane.
Yeah.
But feral is just better, right?
Yeah,
Feral
that's
just
This
adds
is like
more.
it feels like I'm
yeah.
looking at the crayon drawing of a child prodigy. Like this is it's like this is genius. It's just not quite mature enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
one of those
getting-
things where like I have the like I already made a skeleton for what I thought like this speedrun stuff will look like.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it's gonna be though, and like you
For
said, it's like a
Lich
yeah, it's like a drawing. It's like a crown drawing. This is what I have as my base right now. The things that I
like-
think are required, and then I want
we're
to figure out what
gonna-
classes I stack.
One of the things at the very end, we're gonna go over an optimal comp, so that's kind of convenient. Oh shit,
Yeah.
I messed up the.
Something that
the
I'm like I
fuck?
gotta figure out and like finagle a few more things,
Is it
and then figure out
hits?
what classes I want to stack and what situations I think
This
we'll
is
be
your
able
Wrath-
to capitalize on.
Wrath core?
This is the beginning of my Wrath core.
Yeah.
Right. Because I cover basically all buffs and debuffs, but I don't know exactly the value of them just yet and what I can
can't
remove and not
believe
keep.
you're doing.
You're out of your mind with your tanks, dude.
You know what? Let it. I'm honestly so excited to see how it works. I just can't wait, and I'm really grateful that you're going to be testing this with real effort. And
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it just feels like for me, I'm just somebody who values armor debuffs very heavily, and I know that if you were stacking warlocks, you obviously wouldn't. But I feel like Sunder armor is very underappreciated. Having a rogue do it is like a DPS loss, and in Nax, like
am
nothing's
I
hitting hard enough
losing?
for me to
I'm
really warrant
losing-
wanting to take the other things. Right? That's the big thing for me. Is that I think this is the only tier that'll happen.
It's a good point, and this is a Nax.
I'm getting away with. I'm
better?
trying to get away with murder because shit doesn't hit hard enough. Like,
Multis will
hits?
never let you get away with this.
I hit his
he's
fine.
playing Prot Warrior too.
All right. Well, whatever.
And so is I think Fark from private servers. They
Fark
pro-
is?
he-
Yeah.
He told me that he thinks that Rage Gen might be bugged because it's 3 times what it is on Warmane for Prot Warriors getting hit.
Really?
Yeah, he's like,
That's
I don't know if it's
interesting.
bugged or not, but you're getting. He's like, you're getting 3 times as much rage here than you do on Warmane by getting hit. So I don't know.
Okay, I have half an hour, so let's.
Look at
yeah.
this
Anyway,
comment.
back to the
Ruggs
tier
looks
list.
like he works for Disney.
He's just trying to keep it back. He's just
Okay,
trying
next.
to keep it back.
Next.
It's okay.
Warlock Affliction. I'm not gonna put not enough info because we have enough info. We're missing a fucking glyph. I think we're A with the
I
glyph
would-
or S. A glyph works S. A
I'd
glyph
say
works
they're
S.
S plus is my feeling. But
I mean, I'm down for
As
that,
Affliction?
but, I say Affliction's A with our glyph working. It'll be a S. That's what I think personally. And tier
Glyph,
7.
it's gonna
Remember,
work. We
tier
have to
7,
assume it's
short
gonna work,
fights.
right?
You're not even gonna be Affliction for all the fights in there. Even if it was working right, you're gonna be Destro or Demo Destro hybrid. You're not gonna always be Affliction. It's not the best single target spec. Period. What anybody thinks, I don't care. So I don't think it's gonna be S.
S is good.
Are we gonna assume that they're gonna if they don't fix our glyph? If they do fix our glyph,
If
Are they
Crix
better
is
than,
saying it's not S
Are
plus,
they better than Marksman Hunters?
yes, I think they will be if they fix our glyph. I honestly don't. I kind of like don't think they're gonna fix our glyph for some reason. Maybe I'm just a doomer or something.
have
I
to,
hope
dude.
so. I hope so. If they don't,
They
I think we're
have
still
to.
fine at A tier. They're still gonna blast. I did 1 raid as Affliction. I was still pumping with our corruption being all fucked up in our glyph. If they fix it, I think it goes up some. Old War, obviously, we're not talking about Old War. We're only talking about tier 7. I'm gonna put an S because I hope that they fix it.
Definitely S.
Demonology Warlock tier 7. I want to say S as well.
S
And I want to
fucking
Yep.
plus on overall, but
So does left to right matter on the tier list for
yes.
the categories?
we can.
I-
we can make it.
Oh, is
matter.
there a ranking within the
Yeah, we
left
can
to
make it
right?
matter.
Yeah,
view?
yeah.
Interesting.
That always makes it spicier.
can make it matter.
Specificity is nice.
There you go.
Demo would be the front of that.
Yeah, I would put Demo ahead of Av or at least.
I
It
would
allows
put
you the
Demo
opportunity to
S
be more
plus
wrong.
personally.
I would.
Also more
You're just
I think
like
Demo's
laying
S plus.
landmines out all across this for yourself right now. Why are you doing this? Just
It's because if everything was just really tame, nobody gets upset.
sure,
right?
sure.
And then
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if
yeah.
people aren't
No, you're a
talking about
genius.
you, then you're doing it
genius.
wrong, right?
I heard
So
a-
if you
I
don't
heard
have
a-
haters, you're doing it wrong.
I heard a Demo and S tier from Rux. S plus.
Right, so we said at the top of this, we're talking about overall damage, a raid cleave, but we're also considering utility a little bit. Utility is a little bit in this. The value that a demo brings to a raid is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big spell power buff to your raid on top
Huge.
of the fact that their overall is right up there with all the best specs, which we will get to, no spoilers. I think they're a clear S plus to me.
I
It's
think
the
so,
same
too.
damage, but with more utility.
To
I
give you a
agree.
perspective, Pummel, the guy, my homie Pummel, him and I were able to get 430, 440 dark demonic packs without even actually really min maxing it. Just kind of like, oh look, we got a proc, send our pet in before they fixed it. So yeah, we're giving you 420 plus. So,
So-
on a good, they call it pest twisting. On a good fucking slap down, you're gonna get like a 450 to all your casters from your demo lock.
which is huge utility. That's crazy. And their overall damage, like Metamorphosis, is crazy. Immolation Aura, obviously, when it's running, they're seeding and doing really, really good, like solid overall. Warlocks can move quickly at all times because they've got life tap, and I mean they're even life tapping to buff themselves now. And then like their single target is also very, very solid. This is a fucking wow, like so strong from what I'm seeing.
I guess my question here, obviously not to like affect the tier list or something like that, is if I already had a demo lock in the raid, does it go below Affliction on the list? Just,
Great question.
Not to change it, but just to be like to explain to people, are you stacking demo locks?
Well,
you
if
stacking
we're
Affliction
talking
if you have
about,
the opportunity,
there are builds that if you were to run a demo lock, if you run 2 demo locks, one was trying to do damage, there's another build that they would go that could give them more damage. So if you remove if this is I say S tier and we're making it S plus because of the buff, then yeah, I would put the hybrids down here, which we can. There are a lot of hybrid. There are a couple different hybrid specs too.
Yeah, put it back in the S plus tier, but I'm just saying like.
Yeah. But yeah,
I was just
I
wondering
would say
how
without
much
the
they
buff,
have diminished value, right?
Yeah, I would say
That
if
was
you're
all.
not bringing that buff, I'd put him down to S because the hybrid is S, and I would say Destro's at S as well, but lower S. They're slapping. They just don't bring any utility. You bring replenishment, but you're not going to need them for the replenishment. But I mean, I would say
I feel like
low S, high A. Destro
I
slaps.
think high A. I've seen, I mean, at least from everything I've seen, Survival's slightly beating out on overall and single target of Destro right now, from what I've seen for the most part. Have you seen a lot of different?
Yeah, but we can't use that at the same time because even me, I have not even done a full raid as Destro the whole time. Every fucking boss, I'm switching specs. I'm hearthing out, respecking, coming back. We haven't even. I don't. But you are right. Yeah. So yeah, you could say that at the same time because I would say if I had to put anything down, I would probably say like A plus or like the low end of S, and then that Demo hybrid, the Demo Destro hybrid, higher than this. It'd be like a notch higher than this because that's actually more, even more damage with the solid execute, and execute's important.
I feel like this is the moment of truth. If you put it in the S tier or the A tier, it changes the where our graph is going to be located in terms of whether you're doing more things in BA or AS, right?
I think you put it in A.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time as S,
No way.
it's beating Affliction on a few fights.
But
so for the same reason we have Affliction up here, assuming the glyph gets fixed.
What's the overall?
Why
though?
would that be down there?
202.
Oh yeah, overall, I mean the overall
Full
is amazing.
damage
It's not that it's amazing as a.
He dropped
as
it
a-
right away.
Well, the overall is fine as a. It's just this is the overall king for Warlocks. We're just spamming Seed of Corruption and hoping to get close enough through Shadow Flame. We have Seed of Corruption and Shadow Fury. Shadow Fury fucks. It's an instant cast. It crits for 5k on every mob around there with no cap. Like this, Shadow Fury's fucking broken. Yeah, it just goes on unless they add. Unless they add like whatever. There's no AoE cap right now, right? It's like bugged out.
Yeah, it's
so yeah, the overall is fine as a Destro lock. I would say it's
That damn
overall
thing is
these
so
two together
fucking
are going to be
accurate.
kind of. I mean, quick decay working. Yeah.
I don't know. I
Wow.
see like and single target and stuff. I'm just going off of all of the information I've seen and like numbers that I've seen and logs. I'm curious. I think they're A tier, but that's maybe maybe a bias. But I also think Destro or Demonology is the S plus, right? Like I was like they're insane.
Yeah,
right?
I think top of A.
I think they're on AA. Yeah.
I'm going bottom S.
You going bottom S?
Yep.
All right. All right. What else do we got?
It's a vote time, boys.
I just think
this
you
is
guys haven't.
representative of all
This is
five.
vote,
You guys
yeah.
have, we have
seen-
uneven numbers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just think you
This
guys
is the
haven't
vote.
seen a good Destro lock yet. Is what the problem is. I think you just haven't seen an all-out Destro lock with the AoE with the.
But
you know,
then,
in the
how does that
overall and
not
trying hard.
also
My
mean
vote's-
we don't
my
have
vote's
enough
A.
info?
That's true. Well,
Doesn't that mean we
Is,
don't have
is,
enough
is
info?
Destro better than Survival?
I don't.
Ooh, that's a good-
Survivals bring survivals bring replenishment, right? So
Destro brings
So does Destro.
replenishment.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, improved
Okay,
foliage.
so it's. I mean, that's the question: is Destro better than Survival or not?
Destro has
That
higher
is the
single
question.
target. I would say has higher single target, less AoE, less overall.
I think survival.
Less overall?
On logs, survival would beat the Destro.
On
9 times out of
overall,
10,
I think
right?
it.
Let's
I
just
think
let's
it
just
would. I
pick
think it
something
would
and
too.
keep going.
I think it would too. I think survival would be
we have to pick
overall
something.
because of all that they have. Survival
Yeah.
has
You beat
insane
Survival?
AoE, dog.
Yeah.
In the same breath, I've only seen Sarth doing good on a survival hunter, so I can say the same thing. I haven't even seen any other survival hunter besides Sarth doing good AoE. You know what
But
I mean?
I've seen
but
I've
we
seen good.
care about the upper
hunter
limit
logs.
of things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You care about the
22
potential of something,
agility.
the, like the 0.01%
No, more than that.
performer. Like
I just
what
want
is
you
the
guys to
class
remember this
capable of?
when the game is actually out and they're way up here, and I want you to
gotta
have
be
to come back to
better.
this conversation next.
Alright.
Frost.
That is true. We don't have
Six.
it's we've had a weekend of raids,
Mhm.
right? Like yeah.
Frost
Frost.
DKs.
Oh my god! Holy shit. DKs
This
are so
is-
strong.
I don't know
I'll
anything
let
about
you
this. It's
guys.
all you guys.
I'll let you guys say your opinion first because
I think
I'm
Frost.
I
is-
think it's
26
top of S.
agility.
I think it's top of S
Or
as well. I
crits.
wouldn't put Frost in S plus personally. I think Sarth might, but truthfully, I think it's top of S. It's a clear winner overall against
Yep.
these other classes that it's next to. But yeah,
I
that's a good fit for me.
I am right there. I think Frost is the right at that cusp of being S plus. Frost is insane. I think it's gonna do so well on overall and single target. It's like this is just one of the strongest classes in general, right? Death Knights are unreal, and like a longer fight, Frost takes over and pumps those single targets. We were talking about it earlier, playing around the bugged things and not playing with anything bugged. They're just so powerful, and if we move faster in the raid, Nax, like as things die faster, Frost scales up even higher because you just get like these crazy Howling Blast crits. Like you get that in before everything dies, and a lot of other classes kind of need to ramp up damage. Frost doesn't have this ramp up thing. It's just like it's for their AoE, it's proc based and stuff, and for their single target, it's very sustainable. Frost is absolutely top of S tier.
What about anybody else want to chime in on that? Are you guys agreeing with that? What about
I
agree.
agree.
Let's move on.
It's
Bring up
also
Unholy?
very easy to play. Frost
Yes.
is incredibly easy to play. So
Yeah,
your average Frost DK will do well.
very much. Yeah, absolutely.
What about the good old Unholy? Not Sigil Bug.
Ebon Plague is an insane ability.
I think it's also S.
Yeah.
Would
maybe
you put
just
it
I-
right here?
I
That's
put it
kinda
S
what I was
plus.
thinking.
I put it
Yeah,
at the
put it as
bottom of
plus.
S plus.
The bottom of S plus.
Without the bug sigil and without the bugs. I put it at the bottom of S plus.
Yeah. I think if Ebon Plague wasn't a factor, then they'd
You
be below
morbers,
Frost.
get out of here.
I think they'd be below Frost if Ebon Plague wasn't something I was factoring in, but just the AoE Curse of Elements is just nutty.
Yeah, right?
That's what pushes them above
That
me.
utility is just crazy strong, right?
Yeah.
And
I
they're
think-
overall they're always doing so much to like fights. It will even out as things die faster, as I was saying. But if like bosses die faster, their single target burst is unreal, right? Their single target burst with the gargoyle is unreal when we're not talking about the bug gargoyles still. And they even out, I think Frost will beat them on a longer fight.
What's the
but,
cooldown
like,
on Garg again?
3 minutes.
3.
Okay.
You have it up for every boss fight in Nex.
So we're going.
You don't have it up for every boss fight.
Tip top
and-
of S or S
almost,
plus?
almost, not every.
No,
I've been trying to say something.
legit, I'd put Holy above Demo. Unholy is above Demo, and I'm sure I'm the only one on the call who thinks that, and that's considering the fact that we would get a normal, sigil situation.
Yeah.
They are still going to do more overall than Demo Lock, providing AoE Curse of Elements, providing the unique disease damage debuff, really survivable. Like they'll survive any mechanic, really high skill ceiling. I'm telling you right now, you take 2 really, really good players, one on Frost CK, one on Unholy. The Unholy is going to do more damage overall. The Unholy will win in Nex.
I think the
overall.
Unholy. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think I have to agree with them. I think Unholy is gonna beat Demo.
So
in my opinion.
okay,
But it's
fair,
hard because
fair.
we're gonna have so much criticism realistically because of the bugs, right? They are scripted better than they will be, but I think a really good Unholy, even like obviously like we did Nax and like took off my sigil and stuff. So you're using a pretty garbage sigil, but you just have garbage sigils right now anyways. Unholy is just so strong. Man.
Fair.
It
For the
is-
record show, I don't agree, but
yeah, I don't agree either because this is buffing all your casters and your healers in your raid by 450 fucking spell power.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, I think it just.
Okay, yeah.
I'm fine
Curse
with
the
it not
elements on all the
being above.
ads are cool, but all those ads die in fucking 2 seats anyway.
Yeah, I don't. I personally am fine with it not being above Demo. I think it will be, but that's just like we're gonna have to see, right?
Okay, can they tie?
Yeah.
nope,
They tie
that's
it
not
down.
how tier lists work, man.
That's not. Yeah, so people are gonna screenshot it and be like, "You're an idiot if you think this way."
We're getting flamed no matter what. We're trying to have fun and do a list, and people are gonna flame us. Okay, boom daddies. I want to start by saying that I didn't see too many boomies out there wilding out. I saw Classic
good
Goat
when
doing
they're
some
not
raids.
pulling
I saw
extra cash.
Darcy doing some good raids. Well, that's because they're dumb and not using the glyph focus like they should be using, and that limits the radius of their starfall to 20 instead of 30 yards or 36 yards or whatever. And Darcy was pumping. I seen Classic Goat pump. I wasn't really seeing a lot of boomies clap, so I don't feel like unless you guys did. I know they fuck. I would say S tier because of knowing Boomy, but I. Was anybody, did you guys see anything crazy about him to move him out of A or like?
No, I feel like everything I've seen, every log and stuff, and like scalability and stuff. I think Boomy is A. I was actually expecting S. I was actually expecting S, and I think it's performing at an A tier.
I haven't seen any of them go crazy on single target for some reason. But that could be attributed to like no add-ons and people not knowing the rotation. Like, because Boomy is one of those classes where you're not. So it's people think you just keep up 2 dots and you spam for your clips, but you don't. You don't keep up both dots. You put the dot that you're hunting for. You're fishing for 1 proc. You put that dot up, and vice versa. I don't know if people are doing that. I don't know if people are playing correctly, so it's hard to see. Like there he is, Classic Go. It's hard to see. He's hard to know. That's why I figured I'd ask you guys.
No, I think where it's at is
Boom
fine.
Yeah, okay. What about?
I think it's at the
literally-
bottom of A.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not. It's nowhere close to a B. I wouldn't put him at the bottom of A.
Yeah, we'll see when this.
Well,
all
we'll
shakes
see.
out.
Yeah, wait, we'll see. Oh my god.
It's true. Maybe I'm just fucking repping the casters too hard here, bud, huh? Feral.
Until I've seen Rugs pump on it, I don't think I have enough information.
Oh,
to
dude, I've seen
input,
Rugs
so.
pump. That's what I'm saying. I actually haven't seen a lot of deep.
I've seen a lot of ferals do nothing, and I've just been like, what?
Literally garbage, bro. But I know that they're good because Rugs is, go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, like, if you asked me this question before beta, I'm like, oh, for sure, Feral's gonna be like SS plus in a
Like top
situation
3
like
damage,
this, because if they're getting funneled hysteria, they're gonna be amazing, and especially for overall, like they're gonna do just fine. But I didn't get a chance to play Feral very much on the beta. When I played it, I was like a scuffed raid. I was raid leading. I played horribly, and I did, you know, middle of the pack. I didn't do like S plus damage Feral. Like I was trash at it, dude. I'm not a good Feral in Wrath. Like. That meme needs to die, because trust me guys, y'all gas me up too much. I don't know. I genuinely think you could put not enough info. I didn't see any logs besides my own, which again I told you it was shit. I didn't see any other log with a Feral. I'd put it in not enough.
I saw some and they just weren't doing too hot, and then like when we were in the 5-man and 10-man situation, you like 5-man situation, you were giga blasting, and then I was like, oh shit, Feral's actually doing really well. But like some classes skill insanely well for 5 and 10 man. Like Rhett is pumping in 5-mans and 10-mans, right? So it's like it's definitely, I think, not enough info. We have not seen enough.
Horribly, and I did, you know, middle of the pack. I didn't do like S plus damage Feral. Like I was trash at it, dude. I'm not a good Feral in Wrath. Like that meme needs to die, because trust me guys, y'all gas me up too much. I don't know. I genuinely think you could put not enough info. I didn't see any logs besides my own, which again I told you it was shit. I didn't see any other log with a Feral. I'd put it in not enough.
I saw some and they just weren't doing too hot, and then like when we were in the 5-man and 10-man situation, you like 5-man situation, you were giga blasting, and then I was like, oh shit, Feral's actually doing really well. But like some classes skill insanely well for 5 and 10-man. Like Rhett is pumping in 5-mans and 10-mans, right? So it's like it's definitely, I think, not enough info. We have not seen enough logs of really good players playing it.
Agreed. I would say I would agree with not enough info, but I would say they're like an A. If I had to speculate blindly, which I shouldn't because I don't know what I'm talking about, I would say A.
If we're speculating blindly, yeah, maybe top of A.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
That's where I think they're gonna sit.
Info.
Unless is like, how bad is that Omen of Clarity that big of a deal, Rugs?
Honestly, like the proc rate was a little worse than private server, and there wasn't like any type of abuse that you could do with it, like no flame capping or with it. No,
you can't fairy fire for it anymore too, huh?
That hurts a lot.
I think you couldn't fairy fire for it because your fairy fire wasn't improved, so you couldn't overwrite the boomies. So you like your use of it wasn't. I don't know. I still need to figure out more about.
Yeah, Feral. That people are saying Feral is definitely this is definitely a spec that is harder to play for most, which is why we're putting it non info, because we don't want to sit there and judge it based off of people learning the game. You should see I stream heroics all day long, and I get Ferals in there that are doing absolutely no damage at all, and people are like, "Oh, Feral's trash," but I played it before. I know that it's harder to play, so I don't want to. We don't want to like.
Rugs was like 80% damage was like swipe or whatever.
He was pumping though.
Yeah, he was pumping. He was doing so much damage. He was doing like 6k DPS every pull, and it was like literally I would look and I would 85% DPS or damage swipe. It's one ability.
Do you have you heard of the bear weaving?
I've heard of the bear weaving. I've not done it myself. It makes sense in theory, and for anyone wondering, bear weaving is essentially when you dump all your energy on Cat and you don't have something like Berserk or Tiger's Fury, if you don't have something to fish for an Omen of Clarity like a Bark Skin or a Nature's Grasp, you're essentially just going to go bear form for a moment, press Mangle, and then you go back bear. I mean Cat. You're only going bear for just a moment for you to regain energy, and then you can go back to your rotation. So in a normal situation, if you're in an AoE pack, it's like you have Savage Roar up, you dump 2 swipes, you go bear form, Mangle, go back Cat, swipe again. That's kind of the idea. It's not, I have not done it. I've legit hadn't heard of it until a couple days ago. I don't know, man. It's not enough info.
Yeah. Yes, this is tier 7 only for phase 1. Just kind of like overall hybrids, just kind of talking shit about them. Nothing too crazy. Don't take it to heart, gentlemen.
I'm not sure. Like for me, Ferals would be somewhere in that A, maybe like lower in it, because I had a Feral, I think it was Mecha, who has like multiple hundreds in Black Temple, very good like Feral player. He was playing it, and I was giving him Hysteria on top of it, and he was still like getting beaten by rogues and stuff. So it was it didn't seem like it was maybe he was not as familiar with Wrath of the Lich King, but
such a fucking little
having a
fucking
good Feral
pussy
on
ass
it and
faggot. Just fucking
perform
fight
a little
me,
bit
fucking
less
cocksucking
than,
little fucking
a lot of
twerp.
other classes, kind of like, because this is where we're starting to split hairs, right? Because a lot of the classes in the middle are very close to each other, incredibly close. But for me, I think Feral is probably somewhere in that like A tier, bottom.
Trix just
bottom
accidentally
quarter.
put blood DPS in the tank and heal section.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
God.
God.
Yes.
Crazy.
You're trolling me,
Whoa,
right?
whoa, 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 whoa! I played blood DPS a few times on beta. It's definitely better than Boomy.
Are you trolling or not?
Better than
Are we
Boomy,
actually gonna
worse
rate this?
than
Because we
Survival.
can if you're not trolling.
I'm not trolling.
Oh,
Better
well,
than Boomy,
hit
worse
it.
than
What's
Survival.
up? Where are we going? Better than
Better than
Boomy, worse
Boomy.
than
Yeah.
Survival?
Yeah, right in the middle there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anybody want to touch on that? I thought that was okay. Go ahead.
I mean, it does all right. I did it. I was using the broken sigil the whole time, so I was
Oh,
absolutely.
you fucking troll, dog.
Oh my
absolutely
god.
pumping,
Fucking
dude.
troll, dog.
It was crazy. Like top 3 every fight. Number.
I hate you.
I was 2
Top
overall.
3
I
out
think.
of 4.
I was number 2 overall. I think. Like 10k DPS opener. It's actually fucking crazy.
Fucking
But,
ret, guys.
Oh.
I think Red's B. Yeah. Red's
Yep,
B.
Red's the
Red
B.
feels good at B.
You guys feel like you guys saw a good representation of ret and the damage? and stuff?
Definitely.
Yeah. Utility or okay.
You would see like some reds like giga blasting in like 5-mans and like 10-man max.
Yeah, it's
and, like,
because
damn,
Sealess
this red
Band is good cleave. Like,
Yeah.
Sealess Band is amazing damage for small packs.
small. Yeah, exactly. And then it's just until they get that 2-piece tier 10 spin to win, and they're gonna. I seriously think they shoot up to like one of the like insane S plus tier when they get that, because like overall they're unreal. Yeah, they're just.
Let's
B
stop
right now.
mentioning it and let them forget about it. I don't want to juice
Someone
our
said B tier for bad until ICC.
I mean, I'd genuinely put Red in C if we're being honest. Guys,
Yeah,
but that's just
I
me.
would. I would potentially put Red and C right now.
They're better
realistically.
than Fury Warriors.
Yeah, above Fury.
I kind of think Fury is the only C right
B
now. though. I
B
really
needs
wanna-
B needs somebody to play.
Yeah,
with,
bro,
so-
come on. Don't disrespect
Shadow
Red Paladin.
Priest.
Do not disrespect Red Paladins and put him with
I
the
think Shadow
Furies.
Priest is
I'm going A,
upper
I think.
Upper A.
Yeah. More than Boomy.
Definitely not more than Survival. No way Shadow Priest.
I wouldn't say more than Destro either. I would say above Boomy.
I would do above Boomy.
No way.
I
That
mean,
means A,
our
A,
Shadow
yeah,
Priest
A,
was
bro, what?
fucking pumping,
Yeah, bro,
dude.
they're
Shadow Priest is
slapping.
really well.
Wait, are you saying no because you think it should be S tier, or no because you think it should be B tier? A plus is the dots properly hasted. Yeah, we did mention that earlier. Is that VT and DP are not, and we're accounting for that here. They're not getting affected by haste.
They're top of A if that shit gets fixed.
This is built.
I think it's-
This is built pretending that all the bugs for the classes were fixed.
They're
have-
top of A.
They're also like really good with dispelling, which Survival Hunters can't do, and
Yes, they can.
Frenzy?
you
Arcane
can
shot?
you can offensive dispel. You can't friendly dispel.
Yeah.
And they
Way more. Oh,
they have. I mean, that's out.
They have replenishment. They have spell hit. They hit like,
Way
they have
more
him. You bring a hand
Dispersion.
spell.
I want to do
I
that,
just-
bro. I want to do that.
I just want Survival to be above Destro anyways, so it
I
doesn't
think
matter, dude.
I
got
wanna-
Trophy on the
You've
forum.
already given up the fight. You're like, if they're not gonna do this, they're not gonna do any of it.
I think
Yeah.
so. Shadow Priest,
Doesn't
Shadow Priest
matter.
overall, like in terms of their
Come on.
AOE, is phenomenal.
Yeah, I like
It's
it. A+,
actually
dude.
crazy.
Yep.
The AOE is very good. The Singleton is great too. The Singleton is already good on the beta with DP and VT being fucked up. So
To be fair, the people that
to be
the
fair,
person who we've been playing Shadow Priest with is like fucking amazing, and so
Yeah, but
I
he's
think-
the only one I've seen do as well.
and
I've seen a lot of other
Crossing
locks.
I've seen a
He's-
handful of them do great.
he's doing his class proud right now. So
He genuinely did more overall than Frosty Case. Every single Frosty K in the raid, there were 3 of them. He did more than all of them overall.
yeah, he's
Well,
very
Except
also,
for the
we're
one
building it- we're not
came after
building this-
Patchwork.
We're not building this with
And
the
was number 2
casuals that are going to
after,
play it,
yeah.
how good they're going to play it. We're building it with how you're expecting you to play it correctly, right? The argument of I've only seen one Shadow Priest doing good. That's where I'm putting the benchmark of Shadow Priest.
He is
right
the
now.
argument. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
he
the
is.
Yep.
Yeah.
all right. Well, there we go.
Bottom of S.
Number one DPS net
good
rated
job,
Destro.
APEP.
Oh, Pummel, we know.
Apep, they should give you a flare in the Priest Discord for this.
Next,
You're like, he's doing his class proud. He got him A tier.
Bro.
Like, well, that's what the
Hey,
fuck is he proud
Spell
about?
Spell
enhancement.
Hands. Are we going
Shadow.
S? Or
Bro.
Yes, absolutely S plus. in
S
my
plus
opinion.
guaranteed.
Absolutely. I think we agree on, can we
Guaranteed.
agree on that one, bro? Are we all in agreement here?
Holy
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Yes.
No, we're calling
yeah.
it Spell Hands because that's what it is. If it was
Maybe
enhanced,
even
it'd be
throw
fucking
them,
down
throw
here.
them
goddammit.
higher, dude.
Bro, you put them at number 1. They're
Yeah,
like
they
number
are
one.
they are
What?
unreal right
They're
now.
their number 1.
Okay.
They will do
Yeah, I
more
agree.
than an Unholy DK.
I agree.
think.
No, I agree with you.
Yep, they are the gods right now.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with this.
Although throw that unholy again in front of that demo lock.
We need a
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Sar's gonna DM me after. Fuck your warlocks, dude. Anyway, to talk about Spellhands. Spellhands is amazing. Shout out Just Euro, who literally plays. He's like 17 of these goddamn things on the beta right now.
Yeah. So what Deonce is saying is really key to know is they will get target cap like locks. So we'll see. I'm with you there. He says they'll do less than Unholy as well, but they're performing so well right now.
Well, shit's just gonna die really fast.
Yeah, true.
Because of them.
I think
They're
that
the first
Frost
ones to
still
get that
does more
AoE.
than
They got to
Unholy.
press one button, and all of a sudden they're starting their AoE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's bursty AoE. It's good. It's not like a damage over time AoE. It's bursty. It's really solid, reliable. They're
Right
mobile.
away.
They bring so many buffs to the raid.
6 or 8 second cooldown on
Movement. They're
Nova?
fast, bro. They can move on AF fast as shit. They're never lagging behind.
Why?
No, but it's like
Why
6
is it
seconds
called
with Glyph.
spell hands? Isn't it just
Because they're using half your
enhance?
shit as spell.
AI viewer
That's just
stream
the
book.
way enhance works
Com.
nowadays.
No, it
Like,
doesn't.
no,
Only
early
because
on,
of the spell.
your
When
main
you guys
weapon is
switch
spell
with ARP,
damage.
you switch back to full enhance. You're not using the spell power on it.
they go full
Yeah.
enhance later in the
They when they get ARP.
It's the same spec.
You just changed the flame tongue and
Glyphs
stuff like that.
and
Weapon.
flame tongue. Your main
I
weapon.
think it's just
maybe
enhance, and you guys.
cloak
I will
and,
never
trinket
not call this spell.
and ring.
Alright, well, whatever.
Spell enhance is short for spell power enhancement.
Yeah.
I get that, but it's just like okay, so then why don't you
The guy.
call fucking prop paladins? Now you call them strength prop paladins because they don't scale off spell power as much as they do
Because spell
strength
power
now.
paladins don't exist anymore.
Yeah, there's
But
two
regular
different players.
enhancement does.
Do they?
I don't make
like,
the rules, Jordy.
is anybody gonna be doing that?
It's like
If this
kebab
is-
spec, you know. It's like
Alright,
you know,
alright,
some people
alright.
are like, "Oh, I'm
I tried.
slam, I'm normal arms, I'm kebab."
All right, so now we're gonna let the only person here who knows about spell hands talk about it. Rugs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, they just have a shit ton of damage. It's really reliable. They're mobile, and all the buffs that they bring with 10% attack power. If you need it, improved Wind Fury Totem. If you need it, enhancing totems. They have Bloodlust. They are just absolutely amazing Phase 1. They're incredible.
Yeah,
What about
like the totem is stronger than your DK buffs, right? Like, and then they've got Wind Fury if you don't have DK buffs, but that doesn't really matter. The Bloodlust, you need someone for Bloodlust, which is huge. They have so much mobility and constant AoE that's really fast and bursty, which is absolutely amazing for overall, but they also have really solid single target DPS. It's crazy. And they also have like big CDs like Ghost Wolves, and they get like a little sprint, which if anyone's realizes like the importance of mobility and like speed in raids is like huge. I don't know. I'm really excited about this. I fucking blown away by how amazing.
Have you tried to play it? Are you gonna try to play it?
Yeah, I set it up last night because I was gonna work on a video about it.
There you go.
Yo,
dog. There you go.
What about Heal Hands? Heal Hands probably has got to fit in here
I
somewhere.
want a new icon for regular enhance,
Yeah.
spell hands, and heal hands, please. If this is what we're doing.
Put like a fire. I don't know. Yeah. What
Yeah,
about,
heal rat.
Yeah.
What about what about? I might be out of left field here, but what
We
about?
might be
fucking
done with the
Elemental
conversation
Summon, bro?
by the time Classic comes out.
Where do you guys? What about Ellie?
Good question. I don't have enough information. I've heard good things. I know they don't scale super well later.
People
We're
tell me they
only
do
talking
well in
about
10
phase
man.
one,
I
bro.
don't
We're
know.
talking about phase one only.
What
First
about
off,
25? Like that's the only thing that matters. How I
The
don't
same
have enough
utility as
information.
enhance. First off, so let's remember that. Same exact utilities you enhance. A little bit less damage.
I think they're
They have
probably
less single
low,
target and less AoE than
low
enhance.
A. I
I
they're
think
low A.
yeah.
The problem is they should be like higher than survival, but I'm
think
kind of with
they're
Star. Like I've seen Ellie do awesome
Yeah.
in Phase 1,
Right there.
awesome in P server, but like I'm not seeing it on the beta right now. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's the people that are playing it or something, but like Ellie's doing really bad right now. And
The
guys
one
just
thing
gotta
about
I saw a pre-fox
Is Ellie-
survival
Ellie
and he
even
was carrying
difficult?
pretty goddamn hard.
it's not difficult.
No, it's not difficult.
Like,
No,
it's like-
it's so easy.
4 buttons.
The
I
one thing
just
about
gotta
Ellie
say
is you'll
survival is
often have
pumping
one.
and you guys are all sleepers. It's just Marksman is pumping harder.
Where are we putting this? Where
I
are
think
we
you put
agreeing
it
on this?
beneath Boomy.
Yeah, I'd put him in B honestly, but I know that they can
B?
do well. Yeah, man.
Like damn near not enough
We
info
do
type
need
shit.
to have some
It's the
people
Ellie
in B.
Shaman's fault for not representing one.
Wait,
So
if they're in
almost
B, then
none of
we
them.
have to move Rhett down to C.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
just put
think
him in not enough
low,
info.
Low A.
Put him above Rhett and B.
Like I think the value of an elemental shaman just goes down because the other classes that kind of do what they do, like you're gonna bring an enhancement, right? You're
Do it
already covering
better,
those
yeah.
buffs. That's the problem, is their value definitely goes down because their damage, it's one of those things where like if they don't do enough damage compared to the other spec that brings the same stuff as them, then it lowers their value, sadly. And that's the only reason I would say, like, DPS wise, they're probably up there, but in terms of all the stuff they could bring,
Like, do you
it's so
need
just
them?
overlap,
Yeah.
right? By classes
Something
that
does
actually
it
do well
better.
still. Because like doesn't like demonology bring like just a scaling version of what they do with like spell power or something,
Flame
and
Tongue
they don't
weapon.
stack or
Yeah,
something?
they don't stack.
Yes.
The DP's more, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know how in TBC in parses, like a feral druid has like this bar where like the average is, and then the outlier is like a mile away from the bar because the feral druid DPS players who are true DPS are like pumping. It's gonna be really similar with elemental because most of the people playing elemental are just gonna be your all-spec restos anyway.
Yeah.
The vast majority of that average will
Yeah.
be occupied by all-spec people, not your pure Ellies. And so there will be like a skill gap or just like a one-trick gap. The people who have the pure Ellie gear set up and pumping and bringing that
True.
average, or like being the outliers. So we're gonna see a lot of that, which will genuinely like affects a list like this.
Oh, you can call me Cope, but there's no fucking way I'm putting Ellie on the same tier as a Ret Paladin. Ellie will stomp a Ret Paladin overall.
I think Rhett has
Mud
to, has
stomp
to
a fucking Ret Paladin overall.
I literally love Rhett. It's like my main Rogue and Rhett and DK are my mains throughout all of World of Warcraft. All of it. I just obviously early Rhett in this tier is just Sag. I would put Ellie in B and move the Rhett down, I guess, but that's
Yeah, but then you got Ret versus Fury.
Rhett's way stronger than Fury, obviously.
Exactly.
But again,
To put
Is
this does not do Ret. You're disrespecting
our,
Ret Paladins
our
at this point.
Fury
bro.
Warriors,
Ellie-
Fury Warriors are so good at figuring out how to be good at the game.
And
right?
that's
Like,
why I'm
Ellie
sitting here
to
going,
the
dude,
left of Ret.
I don't know, man. Ever since Fury's been placed down there, I'm sitting here like, dude, this is a disaster waiting to happen. Like,
Oh yeah, dude.
they-
Fight Club's
you're
already
just- you're-
screenshotting this
you're,
fucking flat,
you're,
making
you're
memes and shit.
fueling them.
They're-
You're making them stronger.
and they're gonna figure it out though. That's the
No,
thing.
they're
like,
not. Not
betting
tier 7,
against-
they're not. These are not doing anything. They can't figure anything out. What are they gonna do?
I mean, yeah, they're still you're gonna
Fuck.
be C, yeah, probably, yeah, but I'm saying like they're gonna test everything possible. It's
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
can test
interesting.
it all you want.
But I don't think Ellie's the same tier as everything else.
So we want to do this
I would literally do more damage as a Blood DK than
with your sigil. So this is what we're doing. I think
Do
this
that.
is A
Do
minus.
that.
I'm fine
That's
with that.
fine.
I feel like it's A minus personally, but there's no proof of it. I just I feel like Ellie was just really underrepresented, almost to the point where it should be not enough info because I saw Prefox in a normal raid and he was in the template gear or whatever, and he was fucking pumping.
And a
bro.
10-man?
He was clapping. He was doing great. But I haven't seen anybody else do anything Ellie, so it's like maybe it's just me going with my
Was
heart.
he
but
in
I
a
feel
good
like
raid?
it's more. It's all right.
Was he with good players? Because like I can make Fury Warrior look good with bad players around me.
Prefox was number 3 on it in his raid, number 3, and he was pumping right.
as
And then,
Ellie?
but if you looked, no, on
Fury.
Fury Warrior, but then if you looked at like the damage numbers, were skewed like 1,000 DPS from all of the top like 8 people below like a very pumper raid that we were seeing, right?
Yeah.
So that does matter a lot.
I mean, I'll put it there for you guys, bro, but that hurts, bro. I feel like they're there, bro. Maybe it's just I've been playing Ellie for the past few days, so maybe I'm just super coped out. But I feel like it's a little bit
Ellie-
slept on damage, and people just aren't playing it because of spell hands. They're hearing
Ellie's
spell hands,
deceptive.
and they're saying fuck Ellie, but I think it's just underrepresented. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
hey, it could
it's
be
like
coped
a-
out, bro. I don't know.
It's like two-handed DK.
I tried
With,
Ellie's, bro. They fucking got me, bro. I tried to help you. I tried, bro. Okay. Yada yada. Stab, poke, poke, ass.
Assassination? Oh god.
Stab, poke.
I think my personal opinion is that assassination and combat are both S plus S tier.
You guys are so faded. Ellie is not that bad at fucking AoE. Are you drunk? You guys don't even know what you're talking about right now. I'm not even gonna entertain that. Okay, what are you saying?
Yeah.
You guys literally don't know what you're talking about right now.
I
Where's
Stop,
the
stop,
story?
boy.
So I agree with Zyrene. I think rogues are really good. They're kind of like your classes that of the melee, I'm kind of more comfortable stacking a couple of them over anything else. Maybe you take like one Unholy, one Frost, and then 2 or 3 rogues. Like they're really valuable. That Tricks of the Trade is irreplaceable. It's a unique buff. It's a unique external, and their damage is absolutely ridiculous. Single target, they are like king. Maybe not like #1, but they can compete for #1 on pretty much every single fight in the entire game right now in tier 7. And combat, I think, is slept on. I genuinely only have 1 log from beta with a good combat rogue that was actually doing well. But I think combat is super slept on, should do more than assassination overall. But either way, like I feel like the two go hand in hand, like Zyrene said. I think to me they're probably like bottom of S+ tier, something like that.
Both of them bottom of S+.
I think so.
Yeah. So for me, I think that the assassination on like bosses obviously is better, like you were saying. As a rogue, I'm probably gonna have both specs, right? And then like just change it over for bosses because I think combat on trash is just disgusting. So yeah,
did you say combat above? Oh, whoops.
Real quick, I gotta go. My mom is here. I gotta go.
I love you, Jordy.
Thank you so much for having
Jordy.
me.
Dude.
Love you.
It's good talking to you, Zyrene.
It's just the mages left. You're
I'll
good.
see you guys soon.
Anytime, man. Hit me up.
Yeah. Good night, dudes.
Yeah, fuck sub. We're just not enough info and be nice, unless we really want to show that right away.
I don't know. Fuck this Discord call if I
out.
need it. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, sure. Not enough info.
Okay, bye.
I would like to put not enough info, but do we need? The question is, do we need more info on sub?
We do. No, yeah, we do. I think sub could do some sneaky stuff here. They have some interesting cooldowns that work in a PvE environment, but we just haven't seen it. Like, I bet you there's probably legit 0 logs from beta of people doing sub and max, so we just don't know.
Yeah, I haven't. I personally, like, I'm a rogue lover. I haven't seen enough rogue information. Simon Eyes was testing out this Phantom Knives build that was fucking crazy.
I mean, is that a subtlety exclusive thing?
No, that was just in general. I'm just talking about like, because I was quiet during the whole rogue part. I think rogues are so sick, but I've seen a lot of rogues underperform, and I've seen I wish I had more information on rogues. Yeah, that Phantom Knives build was super fucking clutch. Like, I love it. I love the testing and the theory crafting. I think it might be insane for overall. And then obviously their single target is crazy.
Man,
I might push though for like the fact that I think Frosty K can. I think that Frosty K can be just ridiculous as we move faster through the raids. I think so. We'll see. Yeah, Phantom Knives. A lot of the damage though is from your Phantom Knives procs poisons.
Yes, and it's not AoE capped because of that.
Yeah.
So it's pseudo un-AoE capped because you can proc off of tiny hits too.
Yeah.
So you can Phantom Knives 100 mobs and poisons can proc off that, and it doesn't affect the poison damage.
Yeah.
Also, I think Simon Eyes was messing around with Rod of the Sun King, and it was proccing off Phantom Knives, so he's getting infinite energy.
That's what it was. I heard like literally I had to leave before he swapped to Rod of the Sun King, and it was just that if that works, oh my god.
Yeah. And sorry, you mentioned like Frost CK is doing really well. I think I just want to throw it out there. Like sometimes Frost can like absolutely miss on a trash bag. Sometimes they hit, and sometimes they miss. If you don't have a killing machine with Howling Blast available, it's pretty weak. And meanwhile, like Rogue should do well.
I think they run
trash bag.
straight up. I'm telling you right now, this isn't like usually ran. I think for overall, Frosty K runs Death Chill. It's a 2-minute. You instantly get a crit. Like it's a free killing machine, and if you use it well on like a big small pack, like it'll be up for your next big small pack for your very first Howling Blast to crit on everything. That'll be fucking epic. But
Okay,
we'll see.
Yeah, people explain it's actually he was using Storm Shroud armor, which is 2% chance on melee attack of restoring 30 energy, is the 3-piece set, some like level 50.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So 3 pieces of that. Slap a Sun King on, or slap it on your offhand, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I would. For some reason, I would want to drop one of the rogues to S from S+, but I'm
really?
fine with. but I just feel like I haven't had.
We're
I
bundling them up
personally
as one,
haven't
right?
had enough information.
For me, like Rogue is one of my top 3 DPS classes. I actually have it like above Unholy, because I feel like people are like really up good on Unholy, not just because of the Sigil, but because Death Runes too. So I'm just like, they're getting extra damage that they shouldn't be getting. And when I compare like Rogue logs to Unholy logs, and I like try to subtract that damage the best I can, is Rogues just beat them on overall. But that's what I see.
Yeah.
Right. I think
Yes,
I think
only
there's
tier
room to,
7
like
for those late. Just only for phase 1, yeah.
I do think there is a point to be made though. Like you could probably bring combat down to the top of S. I feel like S plus is getting a little crowded, and just to
Yeah.
like make a little differentiation between the two, like probably do that. But the class kind of goes hand in hand. It's like y'all were saying, you're gonna like respec for bosses and stuff if you can manage it.
Okay, so Frost Mage, before anybody tries to flame it, I'm going to put it not enough info because everybody shit talks it. Frost Mage is not nearly as bad as everybody fucking says it is. You guys just aren't seeing a good one in there or any of them in there because they're all going Arcane and Fire.
Yeah, how much worse than Arcane is it?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody played it. I have no idea. I'm putting it. That's why I'm putting it not enough info because nobody fucking played it. I'm gonna play on the next round. But yeah,
Frost Mage is the best, confirmed, dude.
I think if I remember Philippe, I was talking to the mage guy and it was about I think it said 800 DPS lower than Arcane.
Yeah.
With Frost Firebolt being, I could be wrong. Correct me here. Oh, Esquire would know. 200 DPS lower than Arcane for the Fire spec. Mage in here can say big brain on that. But I'm not. I'm leaving it here regardless of what anybody says because everybody shit talks Frost. I just think people haven't been playing it in raid.
Well, back in original Wrath of the Lich King, Frost Mages were awesome.
See what
I
I'm thinking
had
Esquire
to-
has something to say.
had
Esquire
to
knows.
throw it out there.
Esquire
I'm
knows what
kind of
he's
with you
talking
though.
about.
Yeah,
I think
I'm-
Frost Mage is definitely slept on, and there's just not enough info.
But we do have enough
Is
info
it better
about
than
Fire.
Fury Warrior?
Yes, 100%. If I would say it's A tier. I'm saying it's A tier. Bottom A. Probably. I mean,
I'm not part of this list.
Yeah.
I don't associate with this list at all.
I'm saying not enough info.
Yeah,
Yo,
what
I'm
the
saying,
heck?
Not my
I'm
list.
saying-
I don't know, man. I don't know. Sure, I have no basis. I don't
exactly.
know. You're right.
Nobody
All right, fine.
fucking knows. That's why I
Yeah.
thought not
That's
enough info.
Blood DPS should go there, not Frost.
Let's get shut the fuck up, buddy. Fire Mage, which we can bundle
Why
up
do we let
Fire.
Crix be in charge of this? Yeah.
Let's bundle up Fire and Frost Firebolt. Same thing. Or yeah, I mean,
Fire Mage
because they're the same
definitely
thing. Yeah,
not performing well.
Phase 1
on
is what? The fuck are
Fire
you talking
Mage
about?
in 25 man. Did you not?
200 DPS less than Arcane. Like not even. I think it's 100 DPS if I remember correctly.
B tier, bro. What?
Frost Firebolt is B tier. You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would say above Ret though. Yeah. I would say above Ret and
above
Ellie
Ret.
maybe. I would say above Ret and Ellie.
Trash
They got
dies
good
too
A-
fast
they
for
have
them to
good
ramp
AoE.
up, right? Trash dies too
No,
fast for them
no,
to
you're
ramp,
getting
ramp up.
12 seconds.
Their single target is
Living Bomb, Sag.
Yeah, I mean, if things lived for like a long time, they would be fucking amazing. They would be amazing. But it doesn't. Like things don't live nearly long enough for them to stack up. And then
Fire, if you're
later
sleeping
they
on
obviously
Firestarter.
scale. They scale insanely, but they're obviously going to be nutty later
Right.
late game. But right now, it's just like we've seen really good like ran with like Felipe, Criteria, right? Ran with really, really, really good mages, some of the world's best mages, and I'm pretty sure Fire is B tier.
I will say, Fire is in a really bad place with the template gear. And
Yes.
if you,
Mage
if
in
you
general is in a horrible place, more than almost all the other classes with the template gear. They're missing
Fire-
so much mana.
That's
4K
fair.
mana or something. 4 or 5K
Arcane
mana. there
doesn't
isn't?
require nearly as much hit as Fire.
It's not about the hit. It's about the fucking mana pool. Especially for Arcane.
Fair.
They're using Arcane Barrage to dump because they're getting shit procs on their fucking AMs. You know what I mean?
Just
Which
saying,
I guess
with
we
like
can talk about why we're here too.
What about
with
Esquire's
early
full
gear,
pre-bis
Fire's
gear?
like, yeah, exactly. So like Fire early is gonna be, you know, somewhere like where we're putting it here on this list, but they jump up a lot just within this same exact phase and this same tier, just with more gear. I'm telling you, Fire does a lot better with just a little bit of gear.
I think it's higher than B, but I'll let you guys say B. I tried. Arcane?
That's-
It's an A tier, I think. I don't know.
Just dropped it in S plus.
I was gonna say S plus S, at least S. Mid A is S tier as fuck. You're trolling right now. Have you not seen the mages in our raid?
It's ahead of
With
Shadow
template
Priest, I
gear,
think.
missing 5K mana. You're drunk.
Top of A tier.
You're fucking
Give it to
faded,
him.
bro. What?
I don't know.
I think top of A.
Krat, what do you think? Krat's here. What do you?
Mage is in chat,
it
bro.
could be S.
You're gonna ask a
Everyone's
mage what
saying
they
S.
think, bro. You know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say AS triple plus.
It could be bottom of S. They could be bottom of S.
S, but not S plus. Mage is trash on beta. S tier. You know, if you think mage is trash on beta, your mages are trash when you were in your raid on beta. Period. Point blank.
They're definitely not S plus.
Yeah, you guys are disrespecting the casters in a,
I was
in
gonna
a
say they're
weird
top
way
of
right
A or
now,
bottom
bro.
of
In a
S.
weird way.
They're very solid. They're very solid, and they will be really, really good as long as they get gear also too.
Template gear. Remember,
You're right.
I've seen our mages when we're in our runs full of 25 people pumping, right? Or for more or less pumping, and template gear with the absolute worst mana pool in the world using fucking Arcane Barrage. Rugs, how much do you see them use Arcane Barrage in private servers just because they can't get a proc to dump their mana? And they're still fucking up there. AoE, yeah, whatever. You know, I can't, you know, I guess on the overall weekend, that's where it's probably why it's not an S plus, right?
Yeah, but they're fighting. Yeah, they're fighting.
AoE's kinda
Yeah,
ass.
everyone is in shitty gear, but mages do a lot of scaling with gear.
Well, everyone's in shitty gear, but the mages got the worst out of all of them, I think. I can't talk. I guess out of the casters, I can't talk for the melee, but out of all the casters, warlocks were. I mean, it was shitty, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the mages because they need their mana, bro. Arcane specifically needs their mana more than anything. They're wasting their procs on. They're wasting their pumps. They're dumping on Arcane Barrage, bro. Like I know you don't know what that means because you don't play mage. It's a fucking shitty thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think with even previous gear, if we try to look at this, which is hard to do, if you try to look at it like everybody in previous gear, which obviously we'll be able to do this again when it comes time to it and look back at this and see how we speculated. But there, I think I bottom a S plus if they had the right gear. I think so.
I think you're right, actually. I think my first take was probably a little cooked. I went back and looked at my other monitor at some logs, and good Arcane Mage with like an Innervate or potentially like a mana tide totem or something, like, yeah, they will do more overall than a lot of these classes. Yeah, it's probably higher on S than even where you have it right now.
Yes, and remember, mage, they're AoE, they're AEing because they can't blizzard because everything's getting moved out of the spot. They're just blinking in rage, being able to AoE right there, AoE. Why you guys are just holding W the whole fucking time?
Bro, send those
everybody's
slugs.
getting cleave and everybody's getting cleaved down. Warlocks are in the back trying to get a fucking seed off, but we can't because we have to stop moving. I can't do Hurricane with my Boomy because you guys keep moving all the time. Starfall's on cooldown. Mages are right there. A.
That's
You know
still
what I mean?
Krat doing less DPS than me on Feral or on Marksman though.
This is a
Yeah,
different
look,
log.
bro, look, it's literally after
I know, but
Marksman.
like,
Look. I
but
put
this,
Marksman
is
first.
this 10 man or is this 25?
That's 25.
Yeah, okay, but yeah. But that's like, but that like on overall is still less, right? And I missed out on Thaddeus because I missed the jump twice because I'm a fucking bot, right? And that's still like 140 DPS less.
Okay, well, not
like
all
150.
overall logs are created equal.
Yeah, I know.
Also, you have to remember,
More-
some people
more trash.
some people are not paying attention the whole time. Just because you were doesn't mean we were or Krat was.
You're
Krat's
telling me
certainly- we
Krat's
don't know-
not paying attention the whole time?
You never know. You never know what they're doing. We don't know if he died on something. You know what I mean? We can't use one
Krat's a
raid
fucking
and go,
great
oh,
player.
that one.
You're right.
Yeah, but you are too, and you missed the jump, nigga. What the fuck?
You're actually right. They might be
What are you
better
talking
than we
about?
think
People
they
fuck
are
up.
because mage players get super bored pressing 2 buttons that they just check out for the rest of the raid. So we can't actually use any of the data at all, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But no, I do think that mages actually, like, they bring a buff. Arcane mages bring a buff that 2 other classes we have much lower on the list bring, right? Red Paladins, and then BM Hunters. Or sorry, no, BM Hunters and Red Paladins, yeah. So you're gonna bring an Arcane Mage no matter what. So eventually we will see exactly where they sit. I think that they're pretty good. I think they're really good. They bring some really nice things to the raid. So I think I would put them above Hunter. Just to
Criteria
tilt
said he had
Sarth more.
COVID during the entire raid test
God
as well.
damn, I
and I
cannot
was sick
wait.
as fuck too. And I remember
I
how
cannot wait till we
everybody
go back
remembers
in
me
here.
being sick
Oh,
as
God.
fuck during the raid testing, and I was miserable as shit, throwing up mid fucking boss, bro. So, and that's just saying. And Criteria said he had COVID the whole time. So using that little bit of raid testing, I feel like it's good to get an overall number on it. But look at all the bugs and shit that were happening. Like we need another round of raid testing, and then we can do it again and be like, oh, okay, well Arcane Mage was worse than it was, or it was better than it was, or Ellie actually was doing good, like I think it will.
I think. Yeah, maybe I'm biased. I think Hunter is gonna surprise people, and I think Unholy is gonna surprise people.
I don't think it will because it already did. Like it's here. It's S tier.
Yeah,
it's S
right.
plus. Look at this. That's how's that surprising anybody? We already here. It's here.
Well, no. Just like if people think other classes would beat him, or it'll be more weak without the sigil, because
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of tests
wow.
without the sigil. It's just the Death Rune thing does does skew. But yeah, I think
I don't even like.
I think when we see a really good hunter, I think it's gonna be crazy. I really want to go into the raid again. We need to go again.
Yeah.
Right.
fucking yeah.
That's like
Oh, yeah.
a huge take from this is like there's realistic. We're all basing it off of early information, and we need to see the raids more.
And
Right.
shit
We
gear.
need to go again.
Yeah, and shit gear. And also
Yeah.
know, like, a lot of these logs are, I'll use Copium example. Look at our logs with him in it. He's in full fucking heroic kitted gear. Or whoever's in who you know. There's people in the raid like
Yeah,
Spoon,
there's
like
a couple
Spoon
people
in
full-
full fucking gear. Meanwhile,
full gear,
Sark and me
Copium
and
full
every-
gear,
Yeah,
and then I'm the
exactly.
only person below them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So there's
I'm
that
right
to look
below.
into as well too. So I think that's why
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do is during the time from now to the next beta opening, I want all my casters geared up so I can just go in there with them all geared. So get out of that template gear and see what it feels like to have gear in it. You know what I mean?
And I also ran the wrong I had explosive shock glyph still the whole time. Just fucking so annoyed because I was supposed to go survival and then switch.
So you
right
see
before
how
we
you
went.
that's what I mean when I said we can't look at one log. Everybody's making mistakes. Everybody's trying to figure out what's the best for their class because shit is bugged and what's not. You know what I mean? So this is a very bad judgment. We can't just use that one. You know these things. That's why we need more testing.
I think we're gonna see Hunter do like 4.6k on overall.
I think when Hunter min maxes get it, they're gonna be fucking shoo.
Yeah.
Doing some dams. Doing some
Spoon
DP,
did.
DP
Yes.
dams.
Spoon did highly illegal sigil threat.
Yeah, but Spoon also did raids without being highly legal, and he was still hard carrying. But he's also the most geared DK on like the server or some shit. He's like the first 80. Like dude, he's like super fucking gaming. Press
And
the
what
right
all
buttons.
they saying? Yeah, as fights get shorter, yeah, Arcane even blasts. Arcane gets stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, I could Fury. It's not gonna be S tier, S plus. Yeah, but I could see everything, literally everything going up. I'm not saying that. Wow, this is all speculation. None of us play all of this shit. We're just trying.
So is this
you know.
like the beginning of the phase? Are we talking like end of phase, like what the meter's gonna look like?
I have no clue at this point.
We just said phase one.
Yeah, phase
We
one.
just said- yeah, that's a
Phase
good.
one.
All
No,
right,
yeah.
redo the whole thing.
Shit.
God.
God damn it.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably in the minority here, but I think Fury Warriors are better than our perception of them.
What do you think?
I-
About it? Do you
I-
like
that's,
a like
you know.
a? Do you think? What do you think? What do you think on Fury versus Ret?
I think they're slightly better with
You think
gear.
Fury's better than Ret?
I think when you're completely geared, because Fury's the best scaling class in the game with gear, right? Like, they use every statistic.
I would agree with that because I think in Old War,
Or just how
Fury's
Warriors work,
already
right?
going to start going up. I don't think
Oh,
Fury's
yeah,
going to be.
I think
I
so
don't think
too,
they're going
yeah.
to be garbage until like what did they say TOGC or some shit? Nah, I
Nah,
think it's
Old
going
War
to be
they get strong.
phase one bis. They're already here, and then maybe even more than that, right? But it's I don't know. It's speculation. I have no fucking idea. I don't play a warrior.
I'm not necessarily mad about it. I think it's going to be an interest. I think Fury is definitely. I think the players that we have will showcase the class in a way. The only thing I think that's obviously like negative for Fury is that DKs just do what they do but better. That's like in Furies are consistent at always. They never have to drink. They never have to stop. You can always press W. They're
going.
so solid always, right? You bring like the Sunders obviously because you don't want to have your rogues doing that, especially on trash. You can throw Sunders up on trash, which adds up for your raid a lot. Furies bring a lot of utility. They're fucking very solid. And the players that play Fury Warrior are some of the best players in the world. It's just like what it is. They will go ham to figure it out. So I'm excited.
Said up arrow to S. We know it's really good, and that's about where we feel like it would be, but there just wasn't enough. There just wasn't enough of these to go around. This is bugged out. I don't think
have enough
BM's
info
gonna be
yet.
much better, but nobody knows. So it's like we just never saw most of this in here. Feral's one of
Yeah,
those
we
things
should-
where yes, there was a lot of Feral in there, but like were they playing right? You know what I mean?
should probably take all the things in tank heals and just keep them down at the bottom and remove that because people are going to think that that's the order of the tanks and the
Well,
healers.
we are done, but since you can order this if you want. What do you think? You're the tank guy. What do you guys think an order for the tank would be? While we're
Oh
here?
my god, have fun.
Hey, just a little secret extra for you guys. Come on, Cyrene, you're on the spot. Where are you going with the tanks here, Doug?
In terms of what? Because there's so many different things for tanks.
Damage, please. Only damage.
In
You wanna do
only damage?
Yeah, let's do damage.
Just keep it simple.
Let's do damage.
just
Yeah, that's a good
In
call.
terms of
Rugs.
damage, it's Prop Paladin number 1.
Okay.
Prop Paladin is number 1.
Feral Druid or Warrior?
Warriors.
Warrior,
I
I
think
would
it's
say.
Warrior, Feral, and then Blood.
Okay.
In that order.
Blood by like a mile.
Blood does like nothing, sadly. Blood makes the mobs as useless as you are. Like they don't do damage to you, but you don't do anything either. Like it's so stupid.
Yep.
You're actually just the meat wall. So yeah, that's below Feral.
Yeah, but it has hysteria.
But it has hysteria. Crit buff is big. I guess trauma debuff.
Off of the cat. Big DPS.
Yeah, I think Bear's
Because
more
Bear would
damage.
just swap the cat with DPS, right?
Bear's so much more damage. Yeah, blood just
yeah.
does not do much damage.
Nothing. Yep.
Healers. I mean, there's not. I mean, it's healers. You can rank. I mean, holy paladins, priests, rest of the Druids.
Yeah, I think you literally just move. You move holy priest to
probably
where
right here
to the middle.
3 or 4.
And then it's 3.
Yeah,
They're
3.
Resto Druid. I love Resto Druid. They kind of interfere with
So
the
fun.
disc.
Resto Druids out here having a good time.
Yeah, they really.
Yeah, they're fun.
I would say
Resto's
these
add
are interchangeable.
damage,
I would say Paladin first,
Yeah.
Disc 2, 3, and 4. These are interchangeable maybe, and then Resto Shaman's right behind them. But don't fucking look at Resto Shaman like it's garbage. These are all fucking amazing healers right now. I think the point of today was Jordy was saying that Holy was much better than what they thought it was going to be when they were in the tier 7, which Rug said actually. If you recall the last time we did tier this, we said Holy's going to be a little bit of a sleeper. Woo! That was fun, boys.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Can't wait to read the comments after this one. Huh?
Oh,
Get ready for
of the DPS losses we have, and pull up. Let's see. Let me go to White Wolf's channel. Our boy White Wolf. Okay, if you want to see good explanation, go watch this video. Oh no, this is the video with me in it. Let's watch his newest video. Not with me. Watch this video. Your opener fully changes. So, Unholy Death Knights, your Bislis doesn't really change other than you're for sure looking at like Void Saber instead of 2 Crest of Insanities, and you're using Mark of Norganon probably because guess what, guys? Comet's Trail is no longer your prio. It was already, but it is not. But how much DPS are we losing? Here are the numbers, right? If you don't know and you lived under a rock, Unholy DKs no longer snapshot Gargoyle. Gargoyle is now dynamic on every cast of its actual, whatever, Gargoyle strike shit. Okay. Most fights are long right now, which means your Gargoyle wasn't doing all of your damage anyways. Gargoyles are the Giga Chad of the game in a very short fight. In a very short fight, Gargoyles are the things that destroy it and pump for everyone. Bloodlust early, Gargoyle do all the damage, sit back and enjoy. That's no longer the case, obviously. But there's some fights, some hard modes where you might even get 2 Gargoyles. Most likely it's more like Mimiron, maybe Yogg-Yogg-Iron. In a good guild, you shouldn't get two Gargoyles realistically for Iron Council, other than maybe like the first like 2 or 3 weeks. And now it's actually better to be able to double Gargoyle with Iron Council because your second one will be with Bloodlust on the last boss. But most guilds, hard mode Iron Council, you're not going to even get to. Not most guilds, top guilds, you're not going to get two Garys. Unholy DK took a bit of a hit. They were going to be the top DPS class next phase for most fights, but there's other fights where you would obviously be losing out to mages or warlocks for sure, because there's just like better buffs for mages and warlocks. This raid isn't a raid that's purely optimized for an Unholy DK, but how bad was the nerf? I expected the nerf to be a lot worse than it is. I expected the nerf to nerf our class to oblivion. I made a YouTube video saying, this is the biggest nerf anyone's ever seen. And that's not wrong. It is. It's the biggest nerf to a class we've ever seen in Classic. Your Gargoyles are doing about 80% of the damage they were doing with like a perfect situation, but like it's no longer worth it to even get Black Magic up. It's quite literally not worth it to lose out on the melee swings to get Black Magic. It's one cast of your Gargoyle. Unholy DK are still looking pretty good. It's either low S tier or high A tier. Unholy DK is actually not lost out on being phenomenal. You'll bring early on, maybe not too many, but they're looking pretty solid right now. If you look at any of the guilds that ran testing with good Unholy Decays, they were top on a lot of the fights. Unholy Decays bring a shit ton of consistent cleave, which is stupid. Right now, that also looks better than it does on the logs. Logs wise, it doesn't look as good for most of the fights, but like, they're very solid. You love Unholy Decays on a lot of the fights. They also can double dip on some of the fights if you're looking at something like Hodir and your gargoyle being summoned while you're inside of like the beam and the gargoyle's in the beam and you're like, we're all beamed up, Scotty. They still do have very good burst, but your gargoyle is now doing like 140k damage if you have a good gargoyle, whereas a good gargoyle is doing like 260k damage. That's a really good, yeah. So your gargoyle, you take like 100,000 damage out of like your 3-minute fight situation. You're not getting 2 Garys. Unholy Decays, I want to give them high or low S tier. It might be A tier. If you're on Alliance, I would give you high A tier, maybe right here even. But if you're Horde, I'll give you low S tier. Unholy Decays are still actually looking good. You can bring multiple of them to the raid still. That is an interesting difference. If you're Alliance and Horde, it still is a big difference. You do get now Orc is slightly better than Troll. Any toe enjoyers can now re-roll. I saw a YouTube video that said that it has confirmed that we will see faction and race change for next phase. That was a bait YouTube video. Don't like those guys' YouTube videos that say stuff like that, because that's not true. That hasn't been confirmed. Unholy Decay, still actually pretty good. Still actually pretty good. Still actually phenomenally good. It's very consistent damage throughout the entire fight, always. Overall, you're not losing that much of your DPS. You're losing something like, I think it's 3 to 5% of your DPS now, which actually ends up being a lot because your DPS is so high. You're probably gonna sit right here for a while, but you can just go for tier gear. Go for tier gear early on. You're not looking at getting, if I go to like Abyss list, right? If we look at like phase 2, goodbye Crest of Insanity now, because obviously expertise, because you're running Mark of Norganon instead of Comets Trail. You just don't get Comets Trail. You don't have Prio on Comets Trail. It's your BIS item. It still is, but you're not getting it. Like, let's be realistic. Rogues rejoice. Whoever else, Ret Paladins rejoice. You can get Comets Trail. You're having Mark of Norganon, which is a huge item that's very contested, so now you can kind of justify yourself getting some of the other pieces, right? Like, give me plated leggings, or give me Warhelm, right? So there's that. A lot of items are contested, but not nearly as bad as if you were looking at something like a caster. So you should be able to scale up pretty fast, pretty easily. You can also take your tier gear. You can take your tier gear early on, and I would suggest a lot of people doing it. If we were looking at early phase for like Alliance, you might actually see something like this. Early phase for Alliance, this would be like more of an accurate situation. But if we're looking at like full end phase, and overall, a lot of the Unholy Decays are Horde anyways. So I think this is an accurate estimation. Again, Destro Warlocks, why? They're great. They could edge into A tier, but why? And Ellie Shaman, I personally don't have enough information. I haven't seen enough logs. The simulations, I don't believe, are perfect, and I haven't seen enough really solid people playing the spec to give an argument for or against, but I believe they would be like right here, right? Yeah. So I bet. So this is what is going to be an accurate estimation of what the tier lists are going to look like. Realistically, Warlock stonks went really high, Rogue stonks went really high, Death Knight stonks went slightly down. It's not like you were nerfed to the ground. Mages and Hunters are looking very solid. Mages and Hunters are looking fucking great, right? And your one Boomkin and your one like Shadow Priest and your 1 or 2 DPS Shamans are looking great also. Warriors, good ones looking great, but like I literally watched a clip yesterday of Tetsu saying he wouldn't even Sunder on XT, and like if I was every other class DPSing that fight and my warrior wasn't Sundering XT but also not being top DPS, I would be fucking pissed. How close is combat to assassination? It is close. Like these aren't like a huge gap right here. It's just you should just bring more assassinations usually. You could bring like two. You could bring 2 combats. You could bring more, especially if you can gear really easily. Get your like golden Serenite fucking weapon. We look at like combat. You can get your golden Serenite dragon really easily. Then you don't have to like, but you're fighting over Blade Twister, Sag. But you have a lot more higher prio on Comet's Trail. Remember that. You have a lot higher prio on Comet's Trail. And remember guys, as I said at the beginning of this, everybody is gonna skip through it, take a screenshot, and mold about where their class is, unless they're a warlock. Everyone's gonna screenshot it and mold about where their class is instead of listening to justifications. And there's a lot that goes into Ulduar in particular, a lot more than what went into phase 1, where phase 1 was loot pinatas, who can do the most DPS, very fast, very short fights. That's not necessarily the case anymore. A lot of classes have a lot more utility or a lot more niche situations where you'll see mages destroy, or where you'll see like even your boomkin on like Hodier can do crazy. Again, also, this is an estimation of throughout the phase. So early on, Frost CK will be a lot higher than where it will sit later on in the phase. And all of these classes are like almost the same. These ones are better, and all of these are almost the same. And this, I mean, you could run Fury or Feral, who cares? Who cares? Fury Warriors, just wait your turn. You're gonna be fucking pumpers. There's gonna be fights, like again, there's gonna be fights where Alondo gets rank 1 world DPS as a Fury Warrior, for sure. Like world, over all other classes, he'll get rank 1 world. But your Fury Warrior in your group is gonna get shat on. Like, just realistically, like your Fury Warrior in your group is probably gonna do such mediocre DPS that you're gonna be like, oh, that makes sense. So there you have it, guys. That's a tier list for phase 2. Enjoy molding if your class wasn't the highest. Thanks for watching the tier list, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Realistically, it's a tier list, so you probably very strongly disagree, but it's based off of all of the parameters I kind of talked about earlier, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyways, if you do want to... What's up, guys? Today I got together with some of my friends, Jordy, Crix, Take Note TV, and Simon Eyes to go over the tier list of the DPS rankings in TOGC. We all have different opinions on a lot of things, so this should be a pretty good discussion for you all. And we do kind of drag a little bit out, so just be aware of that. I'll try to cut this down as much as possible, but I hope you enjoy, and make sure to check all of them out on Twitch or on YouTube. All right, Jesus. Combat Rogue. Simon Eyes, how do you feel about Combat Rogue this phase?
So, like, I don't think it's time to put Combat above Assassination yet. Like, I think Combat has one good fight in Trial of the Crusader. That's Lord Jaraxxus, and I feel like, you know, Assassination is going to do just fine. You know, they're going to be very similar on Twin Valkyr.
Really?
And then a lot of people will also say that you should put Combat on Anubarak, because like, oh, you get to Fan of Knives and do a bunch of damage to the Burrowers. But it's like, one, the Burrower damage, like, come on, who cares? Like, you have other classes that get free AoE damage. Like, they don't sacrifice individual damage to do damage to the Burrowers.
Yeah.
A Combat Rogue does sacrifice individual damage, but that's not even the biggest reason why Combat sucks on Anubarak. The biggest reason Combat sucks on Anubarak is because in the third phase, the Leeching Swarm, which is the most difficult part of the fight, you're going to be, you know, between like 3 and 6% health the entire, you know, that entire phase. Which means your Prey on the Weak combat talent that increases your critical strike damage, when you have more health than your target, it's going to be turned off the entire time. And you lose like over 10% of your damage output. So at the most difficult part of the Anubarak fight, Combat's just dog shit. So Assassination, do it.
Where would you put Combat and Assassination? Both.
I put Combat B, Assassin A. Assassin's still gonna have really good single target damage. And I mean, like, if you look at the numbers in Ulduar, it's like on the melee friendly fights, Assassination is still like number 1 or 2, and it's just like on all the fights that fuck over the melees, it's like, yeah, that's where you have your like casters shining and taking the 1, 2, and 3 spots or whatever. That's how I would put it.
I agree with you. That's what I said too.
Combat.
But I don't know rogues.
Combat in shambles. What about twins? Like, you think Assassination can beat combat in on twins?
I think how good combat is on twins depends largely on exactly what your kill time is.
Yes.
Like, if you're stretching it long enough to get a second activation of Blade Flurry and Killing Spree, that makes combat look a lot better. But if you're killing it at like right around the 2-minute mark where you can't get that second activation of Blade Flurry, then it's like, yeah, okay, you had like one good burst opener at the start, and then like the whole outside of your cooldown window, Assassination is just doing more damage. And so like they're probably very similar on twins is what I would say, and somewhat fight dependent.
Take note, did you do any rogue in the PTR? Do you feel the same way?
No, I didn't play it at all.
That's fair. We didn't do much PTR at all.
No.
How did you guys feel like your rogues were doing in the PTRs?
Dark Rogues is doing like 20k DPS on twins.
The problem with Rogue is that I think Trix is less important because there's no trash. And so instead of taking like 2 rogues, you're going to take 1 and an Unholy DK, right? It's like, because Unholy DK is so good, your rogues are not as important. You know
Yeah,
what I
we
mean?
also didn't put any context on what this tier list is about. Like, is it everything utility? Is it single target? Is it
Damage.
AoE? Is what
Fuck
they're
your
bringing?
utility. It's a raid of 5 bosses. Your utility is very minimal in this raid. There's like some times where it's really useful, maybe on like faction champs, which isn't even gonna be on Warcraft vlogs, but it's useful. Or you could like Giga Cleave that fight down and nuke it, right? So I feel like you're gonna have a lot more utility out of, or just usage out of just like raw damage in this raid. We're kind of gonna like get past a lot of the mechanics just by burning things. How do you guys feel about Feral Druid? 8.
Pretty
good.
Yeah, I'd put it at least at A tier. I mean, it's basically like almost as good a damage as Assassination, and then it has a battle res and an innervate. It's kind of hard for me to argue that the Assassination rogue's any better when it's like, you know, very similar damage output, and like, oh, now you got a battle res and an innervate.
Oh, yep, we got Rug's approval and putting it in A.
I think that's true. Yeah, Feral Druid is A tier and it's only getting stronger, and then ICC it's gonna be like the Giga Chad kind of beating everyone. Actually,
high single target, great single target, decent burst AoE.
I think a
B-res,
really
the 5%
good
they
Feral.
share the 5% crit with Fury, so you don't have to bring the Fury Warriors. Whoa!
All right, we'll get into that. I think that the really good ferals are gonna like Giga Pump, and then they're gonna be like literally so necessary in ICC. They're gonna be.
Would
like,
you put
the
them while
Chads.
they're on A tier? Would you put them above the Rogue?
I think
if you had to, if we had, because there's gonna be a lot in the A tier, right? So if we tried to put them in an order in A tier, which we can come back to when we put more on there, but I feel like I'd go Feral over.
I like that take.
Oh,
Just type Affliction Lock S+ tier. Rest below that. I would personally put Fury above the Rogue slightly, but I'm curious what anyone else's take would be. I think Feral got buffed, and Feral just feels really solid.
I feel like Fury might be above the Rogue at the end of the tier, but at the beginning of the tier, maybe not quite. I don't know. We'll see.
Good call. I like that.
The gear progression's gonna.
You can equal them out then.
Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with it. All right, you caster boys. How does Shadow Priest look in this raid?
Look, I am a huge Shadow Priest shill, and I love Shadow Priest. I'm gonna say B tier. Everyone knows I love Shadow Priest. I think there's some fights that excel, like you have like Northrend Beast, you excel as a Shadow Priest. You can do a lot of good things on it throughout the time, but I would definitely say B tier. Single target's like whatever. They're not that. They're all right at single target, and they have good multi-dot cleave action, but that's niche in this raid. On a noob, I feel like they're nice if they're able to sear, but you're not really gonna have a. I mean, unless you guys do, you are in one where they let you sear the whole time, which they have amazing instant burst AoE on it, but I'd probably say put them in B tier. Coming from like a Shadow Priest, damn near my main.
Has anyone seen otherwise or feel strongly in a way?
High B if that helps.
Nah, man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't pay that much attention to the blue bar classes.
That's fair. That's why you.
I mean,
not for you.
Shadow Priests are really good at TGC because they're really great for Twin Valks. They're integral for Anubarak. They're great for faction champs.
Yeah.
They're really good, but again, you really don't want more than one, or at most two. So it's like I don't know. I'd say it's high B personally, just for its utility.
Would you have it above Combat Rogue?
I almost would have it.
So
I would almost have it equal with Combat Rogue. I don't know. I feel like Combat Rogue would do more. I don't know. I can't tell if it would do more damage. I don't know.
I think we're gonna see like some shadows like Nexer and Progress do like fucking stupid damage, and then like most shadows are gonna be.
Well, I feel like you have a lot, like on the fights that you can do good shadow stuff, like North Rinse where you're multi-dotting, or you get the multi-dot to worms, the snowballs, if you're snapping right when Ice Out charges and shit like that. But then you have fights where you're not going to be able to do much, right? But on fights like Twin Valks where you help so much, you're such a good soaker, right? You have Dispersion, you have everything that helps, which I feel like can contribute to their rank, even though it's not contributing to their damage, you know? On a noob, they're helping, they can do, I mean, the single target's like whatever, but they can help with the ads if they are
healing on a
duty,
noob.
so.
I think the main thing you want the Shadow Priest in that really contributes the most to its rank is like how good it is on a Nubarok and like its utility on Twin Valkyrs as well. I think that's what's like really the plus about it, and it's like kind of mid elsewhere.
Yeah, I think B tier sounds good. Just to take note.
We'll see you in ICC, Shadow Priest.
Let's all right, take note. Talk about Affliction Warlock. How does it do this phase?
Oh my god. It's so good, it's insane. It's so good.
Does anybody think that it's not S tier? Like actually logically, no meme. I know we're a lot of Warlock shills in here, but I don't think anybody's gonna argue with that.
What's up, Teo?
They just do everything great. All the fights. They have multi-dotting, they have AoEs, they have single targets, they have nutty single target on fights like a noob where you can farm external resources to be able to farm into more single target, or the AoE if they need the AoE. They clap most of the fights out.
I was doing research for that article that went up on Wowhead the other day about like tier rankings in phase 2, and like I was looking at Affliction Warlock there, and it's like fight by fight, they were like always between the like top 6 of the different classes, and every other class I looked at, it's like they had good fights and they had bad fights, and it's like Affliction just doesn't have bad fights. There's ones, most of them where they're not number 1, but they're like right up at the top on every encounter in Ulduar, and I feel like the like big strength is that they're just so consistent.
Every fight in TOGC caters to them in some way, whether it's multi-dotting, which I guess a lot of them are multi-dotting, the cheese, not cheese, but the stuff they can do on Twin Valks with double snapping on both opposite colors and stuff like that. It's just kind of crazy. I don't think anybody would argue that they're first. Take note. Do you have anything to say about this? Or are you just going to say that it's amazing?
I mean, I agree. Every single fight in 2C is nice for Athlete if you disregard faction champions.
Why are they good on Draxus?
Just get a lot of multi-dot action. They get to anything where you can multi-dot and you have a UA corruption sitting up is just giga boosting
how
your
much
DPS.
like worth it, like if the ads die super fast, right? Like the
mistresses, the portal obviously you won't fully dot up because that shit will die fast, but you have mistresses and then you have the infernals. Those last. I mean, depending on your guild, your guys' guild may be a little bit quicker than some, but you get a full UA corruption up, you're juiced. Even if you can't get a UA, you're getting a corruption up, which is eradication and it's good damage. Yeah, they're definitely up, especially until people start getting phase 3. Definitely up a long time.
So worth it. Or were you
100% worth it?
Did you throw dots on the snowball Kobold Vassals, whatever on
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I did.
So that's even more
corruption.
you do have
UA corruption, and then you have the worms where you're double multi-dotting. You have Ice Howl, which is great just for everybody, right? It's a single target pump. He slams into it.
That's not pad at all.
No, it's not pad at all.
Yeah.
No. It's not bad. I think it's bad if you would be bolting into him, but you're not bolting into him, or like maybe trying to drain him or something. But you just put a couple dots on him and keep going.
Yeah.
And obviously Valks is amazing because you have the whole swapping colors in the beginning to put that shit up there, which is going to be huge. I don't think anyone's going to fuck with Affliction Warlocks on Valks. It'll be pretty crazy if they play it right. Oh, you'll see. Don't even say it. You'll see when you have the Warlocks in your raid doing it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I have Take Note in my raid.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing it, remember? He didn't have footage of him doing it. He knows about it. He's going to do it now, but he wasn't doing it in the fucking PTR. Nobody really was. Because we were all speculating, was it worth it? And then I think by the time the second PTR came up, there was some people that tried it, like Buckshot tried it. And because people from Elmer's were doing it, and it's actually insane damage. So once you actually do it correctly, you'll see.
All right.
You're not going to be you're not going to be able to fuck with the Affliction Locks.
I got like 5 minutes.
Okay, all right. We'll move quickly. All right, Demo Lock.
A tier.
A tier.
A tier above or behind Assassination and Feral?
I would say.
I mean, are they not just like similar to Combat Rogue, where like you bring one for the buff and then like you make all your other rogues be the other spec, like Affliction?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
They're a 1x class.
They were only ever like you could only ever bring 2 when it was like because of trash damage, you know.
Yeah. They lose. Demo loses a ton of. You're gonna start. This is the phase where you're gonna start seeing Affliction and Demo separate. Like the gap's gonna widen like pretty fucking heavily. Even like other Demo locks that we've been talking to can feel the difference on like Jiraxis and fights where you're like, damn, I feel like I should be doing so much more damage, but you're not. So like you get benefits of like multi-dotting, but not nearly as much as you would with the Affliction Warlock, right? Or like you can tank. You use them to tank a boss, which is helpful. You can tank if you guys are using that method where you're tanking a worm. So that can give them a little more boost in there. Yeah, I agree with Simonize otherwise.
Any difference from you, Take Note? Or are you good with that?
I think it sounds fine.
Do you ever play Demo, Take Note?
I only do it in 10 mans if there's no one else.
Overall's good. The demos, like if you look at my logs in guild, you see my demo log carrying overall because there's trash, right? There's no overall anymore.
Yeah, they're
It's just
so
bosses.
good in trash.
There's no more trash.
Yeah.
So where you shine on that, I guess you can be like, you're a noob. A noob, they do great on a noob, right? You can control the ads a lot with it, but a lot of people are gonna be like, oh well, we don't need you doing the AoE on a noob, so you're not shining as much as you're still gonna pump. Don't get me wrong, but you're not gonna shine nearly as much as you've seen them shine in like Cold War.
Okay, Jordy, before
You're
you
gonna
have
see
to
Destro
go,
pumping really hard.
What class do you want to talk about? I know you love tier lists. Give us your next choice of class.
I want to talk about Fury Warrior.
Fury Warrior, Jordy. Where would you put Fury Warrior, Jordy?
Like middle A.
Whoa! In between combat and feral, or behind, above?
I think it's behind.
I would say behind too.
I don't know.
Ahead of Warlock Demo, or are you? This is hot take.
Ahead of Demo, I guess. There's so much cleaving in TOGC. I don't know.
I would agree with A tier. I would say behind the rest of the stuff on A tier right now, though. They have low single target, extremely high cleave. They bring that 5% crit, which is nice. You're only going to bring one, but also, honestly, would you rather bring an Unholy DK over for your Warrior?
They also don't compete with a ton of people with per gear, which is so nice.
For some reason, in my head, I just think everyone's going to scale so well. But there is so much cleave.
They're just not going to keep up.
I think they just... I don't think they really take stride until ICC, and I've gotten that feedback also from a few like Ollie and like Psycho and like Alondo kind of said that too yesterday, and I kind of agreed that I don't think they really take stride it fully yet until ICC. But maybe they're giga pumping. There's a lot
It's
of cleave.
the number 1 in fun factor, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Well, in this example, would you not just bring in another DK?
Well, you would always bring. It's just DK is a Warlock.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They bring the same buff as the Feral. You're obviously going to bring the Feral. So the Feral brings the buff, but brings more damage on AoE and single target and B-res and whatever else, right?
Right.
Well, that's where it's like we're
kind of drop it behind because you're always bringing a demo, and if you have the
that's
Feral,
what I'm saying. Yes.
Like the Fury, like yeah, it's kind of you're bringing them right now to gear them so that you can gear them faster in ICC when you swap off your DKs after like progression and stuff. All right, Fury A. Does anyone hate that?
Of course, people hate it, but they're Warrior main, so you can go to the next one.
I think it's the people that aren't Warrior mains that are hating it. I think it's high B personally, but this isn't just all me, right?
I would say high B, low A, like the lowest of the A or the highest of the B.
Curious F tier Serenity.
The race is in 1 hour, my friends, for those asking.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it that high. I don't think it's time. Like every phase, I feel like the Warriors are like, this is the phase. We've got enough gear. It's time to pump now. And every time I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it yet.
I feel like in the B tier, they would be. I feel like Fury's going to do better than Shadow Priest, obviously. And so it boils down to
Like-
what's going to do better, Combat or Fury?
Combat, I think.
Like-
Yeah.
In this phase, I think Combat still. You know.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think
And you would bring
With
an
the
Unholy.
gear.
Why would you bring the Fury over a DK? That's the only thing that's going through my mind the whole time.
Fury's gonna pump when they get Bloodbind. Don't worry.
It's like, yeah, it's like Fury's really good in the multi-target fights. That's it. But it's like when you don't care about multi-target, which is, well, actually like Northern Beast, you don't really care about the multi-target damage. Final phase of Anubarak, the actually difficult part, you don't care about the multi-target damage.
Not even on logs, right? Phase 3.
You know.
Yeah, and I also feel like
Oh, go ahead.
I also feel like it's good to like distinguish like the tiers being like separate. Like not saying Fury's like a B tier like bad, but like it's not as good as the ones in A, right?
Yeah,
Like
B
that's
tier's
why we
just
brought
mid.
Combat
It's just
down,
mid.
right?
It doesn't mean they're
For us to
bad.
do
Yeah, B's
everything
just
A.
mid.
Yeah. I think
Also, we can imagine them in full phase 3 BIS, which we should be doing, by the way. I think
Yeah.
bumps up a little bit in the phase 3 BIS.
But so does combat, right? So like it's like I feel like it was just gonna be like right there.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Warriors already passed assassination rogues in Ulduar.
Not on single target.
If your rogue is fucking not playing the game,
On
or he's playing with a Dance Revolution, Matt. I've seen rogues carry the raid so hard. What?
That is a statement that I would love to. Let me just really quickly.
I mean, you can always take like a B tier spec, put it on the best player in the world, and he will outperform S tier specs on like worst players, right?
Yeah, always.
But on average, no.
Right? Yeah, on average, rogue is, and in number 1, rogue is still winning. So, oh look, salad bakers. Oh, the times.
Salad baker?
What a throw.
All right, next up, go Hunter next. Go Hunter next. I'm curious about Hunter. Go survival.
Everyone, all these tier lists are putting survival at like C tier or something. I think it's fucking I think it's high B or like lowest of the A. I think it's doing just fine. There's a fight you can't really trap, but like there's so much cleave damage in a lot of situations. There's a ton of utility, but I don't really care about utility that much right now. They are doing really good damage. They kind of ramp up. I would like to put it high B.
A tier, I say. Their single target sims are extremely high right now too, and they get a little bit of extra cleave everywhere. They have very high single target, high AOE. You know what I mean? It's a very good cleave when you do need to cleave, which is part of their single target rotation, which is dope. Misdirection's huge, you know. And more importantly, it's viable to bring more than one hunter. You can logically bring more than one hunter, and that other hunter would still be pumping too. I think A for hunter.
Yeah, you could put it like I would put it like with its utility and stuff. There's a lot of cleave damage that can happen, especially passive cleave with dropping a trap and like shit being around the bosses. I think it low A tier sounds really solid to me. I think a really good hunter is going to do awesome, but it's also like hunter where it shines is usually like throughout the entire raid the most. It looks really good in ICC. But yeah, I think low A tier. Does anyone have issues with that?
In terms of A tier, I think they're doing more than like a demo lock.
You put them above demo? Anyone?
I would, yeah. I would put them above Feral. I feel like maybe even above Feral, but I don't want to get that spicy. I do think about well, if you include the demo, like if you demonic pact is huge, obviously. So I guess you can argue it both ways, but I think it'd be like right there. But marksman.
Oh, I'm gonna put it like
about 400 DPS below on Sims. About it.
I'm gonna put it in B. I think they could fight the Fury. The Fury's gonna win it in a cleave fight. And even though marksman's still gonna be trapping, that's the thing. Marksman, you're still trapping. And if you're not, you're kind of griefing, which still gives you cleave damage, but like Fury gets a lot of cleave damage. I think marksman still kind of falls behind, and especially if we look at like before this and the end of the phase. Even with Sims, if Sims are showing marksman a little better, which they are, I guess, from those numbers, I think if you look at the classes, you're just gonna end up running survival anyways, 90% of the time.
That's what I was gonna say. You're like, why? It's just one of those things where it's like, why play marksman when you can play survival? Unless you just like marksman. I'm not dogging you, but survival excels more. They have more passive speed, more single target. They have everything more. They do have aim shot.
You can bring aim shot in either spec, but you also don't really need aim shot this phase. Like, you brought it for like Freya, and that was it, really. I guess Vesax. A noob? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. A noob. Yeah.
Unless you make someone do like wound poison.
But that would be...
But the rogues don't like that.
Yeah, the rogues just fucking hate that. So yeah, that's true.
Dude,
but your survival is gonna bring it though, right?
Look, the healing debuff is the responsibility of a hunter. If you make a combat rogue do wound poison, it's like a 7 to 8% loss of their damage output, and it's not remotely close to that for a hunter.
Yeah, it's really
you
not
make
a
an
big
assassination rogue do wound poison, it's like 15 or 16% off of their damage. It's like this isn't a case where it's like Sunder versus Exposed, where it's like, oh, maybe this guy loses 50 less DPS or something. It's like we're talking many hundreds of DPS difference here.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Your hunter's always gonna aim shot. It's just his job. Fire mage. How do we feel about fire mage? I know Felipe hates him. Probably, yeah. Thompson. Put Thompson down here.
I'm gonna say S tier, right? I'll say S tier. Very high single target, like extremely high single target in terms of Sims. They have a living bomb is like carrying hard as fuck. It just fuels their single target even more, and there's so much stuff to get Living Bomb off. And the stackability of the mages is great. You can stack a few fires if you needed to.
I'm not sure exactly how it lines up encounter to encounter, but when I was looking at them in Ulduar, it was like they had their encounters where they were really, really good, and then they had a lot of kind of mid or bad encounters. And it's like the good encounters carried their performance. They're quite bad on the, you know, the like bosses like Algalon or whatever that are just like you know, good for the melee.
DPS on fucking Hodir.
Well, also remember this is phase 3, and if we're imagining phase 3 Biss, they have way more crit. They have way more crit, and that's what that carries the fire mage even harder.
Is it really way more though? Because like we're going from Ulduar hard mode gear like 252s up to 258s. Like, is the gear that much better? Like, I know for Rose this is like barely different. You know, you're talking a fairly small power increase compared to the phase 1 to phase 2 power increase.
For Mage's tier this phase, I think is what really pumps Mage. It's like the same thing for Unholy, is like your eye level doesn't go up that much, your stats aren't crazy, other than your trinket, which is fucking nuts. But the tier sets are just
okay,
crazy.
you got good.
And they're gaining like 4% crit or something.
Yeah, Mage's tier is like a fucking juicer. I would put Fire Mage in S tier behind Affliction Lock. I think Affliction and Unholy are kind of in their own world, and then Mage is like right there with like the right players. But does anyone have any issues with it being there? Would you rather it be in A tier? Speak your mind.
I definitely think it's S tier. Equal with Affliction, probably.
I mean, if I don't have to meme, I would put it S, yes.
Yeah, if you have to just actually say it, or like, all right, where's Thompson sitting?
I mean, Thompson is saying S++ right now, but he's always coping a bit. But yeah, S right behind Affley.
I think S definitely with S, yeah.
I was actually looking at some of the none of the above logs, and I was just like looking at him wondering, I was like, why don't they roster Thompson more times? Like, why don't they just bring 3 of him? He's just fucking everyone in the whole raid.
He came in here as S+++++++.
I feel like Mage is one of those things where kind of like Affliction Lock, but like I hear people when I talk on my stream about Fire Mage being good, they're like, oh, I don't know, I never seen my mages doing good. I'm just like, yeah, that's your mages. Like if you have Mage in the right hand, they're doing, and that was just on PTR before they got their phase 3 gear. We're seeing them like hard carry the raid pretty well, you know?
Yeah, I think
people are sleeping on Mage a little bit. If you're not sleeping on Mage, you know, but I feel like people sleep on Fire Mage a lot. Like everybody knows Unholy's good, everybody knows Affliction has been good, but you know, I really fucking think that people are sleeping on Fire Mage.
I think a really good Mage shines really well. You see it on like overall, or you could say maybe they're padding the whole time, so we don't know. But yeah, I think
a lot of it is natural pad that comes from living bombs just exploding on stuff they can't control.
Yeah, and that's
not even just a natural pad.
Yeah.
Is those natural pad fuels their single target with hot streaks as well, right? So it's a double up. They get that huge natural pad, but they also get an insane boost of their pyros and stuff. So
but it
just makes them skyrocket.
Fire Mage better than Arcane Mage?
Yes.
Yes. We've talked about Arcane Mage. I think Arcane is still very good. It has higher single target, but at this raid, I feel like it's just better for Fire Mage, because Fire Mage would end up with higher single target because of living bombs. So Arcane A.
Okay.
I feel like when people talk about Arcane Mage, it kind of goes back to Fury Warriors. Like before Ulduar came out, all the mages in my chat were like, "Listen, Techno, you're dumb. Everyone's gonna play Arcane Mage. It sims so high. You have no idea what you're talking about." And now everyone playing Fire.
It does sim very fucking high.
I remember that too. It's like everyone like Arcane is just so strong, especially when you have short fights. It's only gonna be Arcane Mages, and I was just like, Unholy?
Well, I mean, Arcane does do a lot of damage in this raid, bro. It really does. Don't sleep on it. It does a lot of damage. It's just Fire just has, it's just that living bomb mechanic is just so big for the Fire. That's why Fire would be way better than Arcane, in my opinion. I think Arcane's definitely worth the high.
I'm gonna be real. The last time Arcane Mage was good was when they killed High King Mulgar in 8 seconds. That was the peak, and it's been downhill since then.
Oh god.
They did well with whatever their tier set in SSC and TK, but yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't as good as High King Mulgar in 8 seconds. That was the peak.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, all right, then where do we want to put Arcane Mage, guys? Let's see.
I'll say high A.
High A above the others?
Above everything in A right now, yeah.
Ooh.
So far. I don't know. I feel like survival. I feel like Arcane's better than Feral, but not as good as survival, if that makes some weird sense.
I don't
know. I definitely think A. I don't know. Put him anywhere in A. I don't care. I'd put him above Demo for sure as well.
See it. Taking it.
You're,
What do you
you're talking
think?
to a mage hater, bro. You're talking to someone who hates
Felipe
mages.
and Thompson, realistically, no meme. What do you think? Best damage for 3% buff if you
I
don't
don't
want
think
red.
we can put above Feral.
I don't think so
in my
either.
opinion.
I don't think there's a way to put them above Feral in like an optimized situation. And you kind
I
of
would
do
say
bring
Arc.
red.
Yeah,
now.
go spicy with that. That's fine. But I definitely would go Arcane in A above Demon. I don't know.
I think it's like right, yeah, in between Hunter and Demo. I think it's. Does anyone have an issue with that?
No, but I'm Cope, or do I think Survival's better than Feral? Should be higher than Feral. Is that Cope?
To be fair, I think they're very close. I think Feral has a lot of utility. I mean, they both have a lot of utility, but Ferals are pumping so hard right now. A good Feral is pumping so hard right now, and same like a good Hunter's also pumping super hard, and like they also get a lot of nice gear this phase. Both of these specs just ramp up so hard. Like both of these classes just go nuts in Old War, right? And we see like things like Unholy
Feral's
DKs just
part
like
is-
fall off the window.
Is Feral's cleave or AoE part of their single target rotation like it is for Survival?
Not really.
That's why I would say Survival beats it. Because Survival gets all that AoE while not having to do anything, where versus Feral having to swap off a single target to do that cleave in AoE. That's where my logic comes from. But at the same time, I don't care. I think they're tit for tat, almost equal. There's my 2 cents on it.
Unholy wait. I think they can fight each other. I really like Feral right now. I'm a Hunter enjoyer. I'm leveling a 3rd Hunter right now in case I don't get to play DK in ICC and don't feel like playing Warrior. So I think
Rogue win.
They're great. I think they're great. Both are great.
Yeah.
Boomkin.
They're both in A tier. We're literally arguing the spot on A tier, guys. Relax. It's okay. Boomkin?
Yeah, Boomkin. Boom chickens. How you feeling?
So just a little A tier, you know. Just a little nice little A tier, a little cozy mid pack, good single target, good passive AoE with Starfall. Although there's some stuff they can't Starfall due to what it's hitting.
What
There's
is
good
it?
utility, B res.
Boomkin A tier in the middle, like above things. You.
I would say low shit. Or high B, low A, high B.
I would put it like
comfortable
high
spots.
B, but like I would almost put it like in between Fury and Combat in my
I could do that. I kind of like that.
opinion.
I like
I don't
Boomies,
think
but
it's
I don't
better
think I
than
would put them
Combat.
in A.
Yeah, it feels.
I would say I like between Combat and Fury. Yeah, that seems fair.
And then I think honestly, almost Fury would. It feels bad, but I'm like, I think Boomkins are great. They are great.
I'm including utility. I'm not just including the damage though, too.
No, no, no,
That's
no.
why, that's why I said that at first, yeah. But if you want to go straight damage, then yeah, I'd play right there.
Yeah, I think they can slap. They've got a lot of, I mean, especially when you start doing your AoE and stuff, but your single target, it's very strong. But I think throughout the raid overall, if we're looking at it, like there's just a lot of cleave situations where Combat and Fury are just gonna like fucking juice, that it's like not like a big enough cleave for it to be a Boomkin cleave, you know? It's like a 2-target cleave or like 3 targets with fucking a noob. Does anyone have issues with that? I think that if it feels really, I feel like it would be rough putting a Boomkin in A above Combat and Fury. Maybe even just above Combat, but like putting it in A.
Do the shamans. Do the shamans. Do the shamans.
Ooh, shaman. Let's go with Ellie Shaman.
Do you understand how high Ellie Shaman single target sims are right